All right. Good evening. Welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Thanks for being with us tonight. My name's Beissert. I'm gonna warm things up with some poetry. Get right to the verse. These opening words are from W.S. Merwin. After the dragonflies. Dragonflies were as common as sunlight, hovering in their own days, backward, forward, sideways, as though they were memory. Now there are grown-ups hurrying who never saw one and do not know what they are not seeing. The veins in a dragonfly's wings were made of light. The veins in the leaves knew them, and the flowing rivers. The dragonflies came out of the color of water, knowing their own way. When we appeared in their eyes, we were strangers. They took their light with them when they went. There will be no one to remember us. And good evening. Welcome to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, the quarantine love stream. Thanks for being with us tonight. My name's Beissert. I'll be your host for the evening. Thank you for joining me here in my living room in Asheville, North Carolina. We've got a great show for you tonight. Janette Ayachi is in the house with us tonight. We're going to get to her in just a moment. I'm so excited to welcome this poet joining us live from Scotland tonight. I'm a huge fan. We're really happy to have her in the house. I'm going to just do just a couple more poems to warm it up. Y'all get comfortable, relax, and enjoy the show. I also want to thank our Kava sovereign sponsor, our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, here in Asheville. We really appreciate their support and being our home, making us Asheville's longest running and voted best open mic. And also thanks to your support. But please do support Sovereign Kava. They are open for cashless to-go orders only, masks required. Get over there, wear a mask. They also do doorstep delivery through Kickback Asheville, so you can get your Kava. Also, if you're performing tonight, you're in the Asheville area, we offer you a free double of Kava from the Kava bar. Just stop by, give them your name, tell them you perform at the open mic, and pick it up. Anyway, if you're performing tonight, make sure to follow that StreamYard link. Enter the broadcast studio so we know you're ready to go. We got a big list of performers we're going to get to tonight, and we're going to get down to it. So, we really appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Speaking of which, thank you. Hey, Dan Brady. Hey, good to see you. I need to hit you up. Peter, good to see you. Yes. Please come back. We got a great show. Y'all stay tuned for sure. And a big shout out to everyone tuning in down at the Kava bar tonight. And we're going to start offering sign up down there. So, if you're not on Facebook or all that, you can still sign up. And of course, anyone can watch live on YouTube on the Sovereign Kava channel. We really appreciate the support. All right. Very good. This is called Surprise. While the still stones whisper in my ears, climbing the mountain, more brilliant falling leaf like a silent dervish still spinning. Mind of resurrection, infantile dialect, reasoning, experiencing. The old seafarer watches the storm wash in. A different wind drives the tides and moon, pulls and rises, drifting through pure existences. 1,000 alligator pits swarming, made angry by red meat. 406 burning blue windows to worlds in soft midnight exploding. One nation under frog. Hyper divisible with eggs and a side of ketchup. And just a PSA, if you're in the States, Reminder to get out and vote. Rock the vote. Make sure you're registered to vote. Vote. It's a very important election, and we gotta get. We got some work to do for sure. So please vote, and don't vote for the incumbent, please. Anyway, all right. Coming up next, this one's called Present. Dog points her ears at the moon, full moon in Leo rising through trees and snow clouds, dark blue evening sky full of action, weeping blankets on the highways in the little town of houses with yellow windows. I pass the time as best I can from one horizon to the other. We sit together in silence, saying everything we needed. Now the silence does all the talking. It is the sound of knowing we were safe for that one moment. It is the sound of knowing our presence is enough. It is the sound of the wind and the empty bus going by. It is the sound that the dog hears when nothing else stirs. All right, I got one more for you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Again, my name's Caleb Beissert. Catch me, I'm here every Wednesday night. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This poem's called Worker. We mix up the days, but do the same thing. Pour, serve, clean, serve, ringing, punching, serving, calling, crying, serve, steady, serving. How may I help you today? Pay the piper, pay the hitman, pay the teller, pay the captain, pay the workers, and tip them more so they can pay the few who keep the profits and the years, the working, serving, get time off work so I can find some time to work, serving, building, destroying, my pleasure irrelevant. Pay for your bills, spend them their paper, buying, selling, serving machines, serving the struggle, serve the few, shoot the building, serving air, selling nothing, serving empty baskets, bread with your empty building standing empty, but you can't use it, building, serving, no purpose, serve, sink, wash, drain, ditch, power stack, coal, sky, ash, water, serve, make, serve, wish, boundary, serve, warning, a missile failed, blue coated, nothing, red, water, working, serving, excrement, serving, chicken, egg, serve, excrement, serving, workers, working, no school in sight, burning rubber trees, mask, server, phone face, no one dispatched, watcher, weather, warning, servers, serving, warning, who is queen, who is king, who is country, who is people, serving the wayside, the underneath, clay pots in the yard, empty dog master, serving, working, running above ground, serving matchsticks, serving playing cards, serve me, serve you, run you, work you, toll you, tell you off, hit you, churning and sleep, restless, worker, working, server, serving empty, serve sky, serve canyons, serve wind, serve empty mailboxes, serve tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next, please. All right. Come to the garden in spring. There's wine and sweethearts beneath the pomegranate blossoms. If you do not come, these will not matter. If you come, these will not matter. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We got a hell of a show for you. We have a wonderful poet tonight. Janette Ayachi is with us tonight. This is her old pamphlet, and she has a brand new book out, which we're really happy about. And she's got some new work to share with us tonight. Thank you for all the comments, everyone. We really appreciate the comments. And by the way, if anyone has questions for our featured poet, feel free to fire away in the comment section, and we'll try to get to those questions if we have time. But anyway, without further ado, let me introduce our feature poet for tonight. Janette Ayachi is a London-born, Edinburgh-based Scottish-Algerian poet with a BA combined honors in English literature and film and media from Stirling University and a MSc in creative writing from Edinburgh University. After the publication of 2 poetry pamphlets and a hardback children's book, her debut full poetry collection, Hand Over Mouth Music, came out from Pavilion Press, Liverpool University, and won the 2019 Saltire Poetry Book of the Year Literary Award. She has been published widely in various anthologies and shortlisted for a few accolades. Her film poems have been screened at festivals. She collaborates with artists and has appeared on Scotland's BBC radio and television, either as an arts critic or literary performer. Currently, she is working on a series of commissions and art projects alongside her book, Lonerlust, Postcards from a Passed-On World, a non-fiction narrative about traveling alone, searching connections between landscapes, culture, and human connection. And human connections, what we're all about here on the Poetry Open Mic Asheville Love Stream. And we love to support our poets. So, y'all at home, if you've tuned in before, you know the drill. Jump up and down, scream and shout, whether you're at home or in your car or in public somewhere. Spin around, do a dance, and put your hands together for the incredible Janette Ayachi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Caleb.
Hey, it is so good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight.
So good to be here. And can I just say, you read so wonderfully. I'm like, you begin with this kind of soothing, dreamlike voice that's really musical. And then if you need to speed it up and really, penetrate the senses, you bring it too. It's just such a variant voice. I really, really enjoy listening to you read.
Well, thank you, and I that means a lot coming from you. And I love listening to you read as well. I think for me, and I imagine you would agree too, that you can't have poetry without the oral tradition, the oral element of it. For me,
True.
A poem has to live in the air as well as on the page.
Absolutely. There's something in the audio and the musicality of once you find your own voice as a writer, and then you realize that you can also sing it in a way, and that
Absolutely.
the poem and the subject matter can even change just in the delivery from page to stage. Look what happens.
Right? Absolutely. Well, it is great to see you. I am looking forward to hearing the new work. It's been quite a while. We met in Edinburgh in 2013, I believe it was.
We did.
At the Fringe. I think you were performing at this little place. Was it the Royal Oak?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yes.
You have a great memory.
Yeah. Well, I didn't forget. I went to that reading and heard your work, and it was just kind of stopped me. And I had to hang around and buy the book and say hi to you afterwards. Yes. Well, we had a lot of fun at the Fringe Festival. It's
absolutely
always a good time in Edinburgh. And you're still in Edinburgh, right?
I still am. I'm still here. Yeah, homebound, but still in Edinburgh. Without the festival, but I've had my own little insular party.
Good. Yeah. Yes, we make do.
We do.
But that's great. Yes. Also, and then later on, you published a few of my pieces in the Undertow Review, the late great Undertow Review. Yes.
I'm a fan
But
of your work too. I mean, mutual admiration. It's a good drug.
I know. This is fun. This is too much fun.
I
But
know.
anyway, I want to talk about your work. You've got this great new book out from Liverpool University,
I do.
and I know you're also working on a lot of new stuff as well.
See how
So
I bring it
yes,
into the shot? Hey.
that's fantastic. So yeah, please tell us a little bit about the new book.
Well, the book, Caleb, is kind of an amalgamation of probably a decade's work. You know, as poets, how we begin with knowing that we have things to say, that we want to document life, that we write journals, then we go and kind of study it at university to find out not like other voices, other ways to use language. You know, I was only writing free verse before I did the masters, and then I was like, oh, this is a sonnet, and you need for me, I needed that to wake me up to say this is, you know, different forms and different things you can write about. And then you find your influences, and then you start writing your own work and sending to magazines and anthologies, and then you have your pamphlets, and then finally you have your full collection. So yeah, the book's always been there. It's changed form over the years, but essentially, I think maybe perhaps, and I'm just speaking for myself, but first collections tend to be about the self, identity, where we come from, our families, how we grew up, our childhood, where we find ourselves in the world now because of that, and just kind of exploring those themes to find our own autonomy before we can be really diverse with well, as soon as we find our own voice, then I think we have to start at the beginning, you know, and then work. So that's what this book is, basically a collection of stories of the self, very autobiographical, very much about the family and my identity and being mixed race and being torn between different places and having that exotic culture to begin with mixed in. So opens up your mind to endless possibilities beyond the tight frame of the little world we live in, you know?
Right. The sense of self and home and place and all that thing is not always so simply put.
Yeah.
Once
that's cleared,
to unravel there.
Yeah. And it's almost like once you clear that, then you can find other ways of seeing other things. It's almost therapeutic or cathartic in a way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But also things that take a while to create, I think tend to be the things, you know, like if you were to have a piece of meat that marinated in spices for ages, it's going to taste good when you cook it, even though I'm a vegetarian. So I think that book was very much that, right? So, and then it won Book of the Year in Scotland. And I was like, wow, it was worth that work, you know?
Big congratulations. Yes.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well deserved. Well, shall we hear some of these poems, and then I'll come back after your reading, and we can take some questions if we have any questions from our viewers in the comments. And yes, but without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you. But I want everyone to give it up one more time for Janette Ayachi.
Woo, woo, woo. Fantastic. So the set that I have for you tonight is centered around the theme love or romantic love, apart from one poem that's relatively new, which I'll get to after I start with this one, because I'm going to start with a poem called Song, and it's a poem after Allen Ginsberg. And Caleb, you kind of remind me of a younger version of him. Okay. Song. We all carry the weight of love, lugging our emotional baggage through loopholes of existentialism. 21 grams of precious Carbocan stones and a sack of Salento figs. Sure, I have been cobwebbed in a party dress, crowned by a laurel of laudanum, the cistern of the moon flushing my cathartic prose of relic and punctuation. I have raced towards a roulette of visions, recklessly hissing uncut hysteria, spun around under a helicopter of eternal howling moons, oil slick like a Frisco seal, boutique mascara smudged to sinew in the dulcimer disco of night. A dull simmer rendered in my chest as I faced Eurydice and sacrifice, then staggered to front final stanzas that stood in as understudies for the ultimate epiphany. But love has grieved generations. Many prophecies of desire have ended with lobotomies of nervous, butchered hearts. In the whorehouse of my heart, a starry lit city in perfumed snatches of borrowed time, a stoic crusade of begonias line the windows, every kiss draped in lubricious fairy tales. But love is this, a weight of wings, lace, and vapor, the body sung electric, beguiling itself on filigree and flicker, ziplocked into a chiffon oblivion. The weight of love surpasses everything. So I discarded the angels, seraphim and sirens, their wings of mescaline, tales of benzodrine, and kiosks of church organs. Only the devil's mariachis offered me masticated truth, but I never once resisted love. So the rest of my poems are also about love and all its rapture and ruptures in our lives as we battle through the human condition. But this poem here, before I continue with the love theme, this sidetracks that. It's called Explosion. It's the last one I wrote, and it's about the explosion that happened in Lebanon. And I think sometimes we can learn a lot from documenting life, especially at times when we are more internal than we have ever been. The external seems to have a wider focus. Explosion. In a country that has died continuously, today Beirut takes another hit from hoarded ammonium nitrate, confiscated from a Russian cargo ship, kept in storage for 7 years at its scenic port in the harbor. As chemicals react, heat in the COVID sun, first there is a small bang, followed by a much larger one. A cauliflower floret of smoke rises, not dissimilar to something nuclear, until the explosion exhaled into a quick cloud, and people filmed the fire from a distance, and car windows suddenly sucked into themselves as if the entire sea had been contained in a bubble. It burst chokeful like a balloon across the land, causing even the furthest away to leap or to dismantle into cover as debris fired like a rain of bullets punching holes into any surface it reached. Shrapnel in the streets, states of shock, crisis on top of crisis. 3,000 homes snatched, ceilings fell on hospital patients, buildings shook, trucks upturned, flames spread through warehouses, smoke breached sunset, streets cobbled in danger, balconies released their stand. Sound splintered as it moved to crack open apartments, lockdown blown apart. All are forced to flee, escaping glass, saving loved ones. On hospital wards in catastrophe and panic, parents pulled out the intravenous drips of their terminally sick children. A nurse runs backwards and forwards, arms always flowering, a rescue of newborns, out into the city, searching other life and more help. Electricity cut, cables split, slashed across the pavement. And what is there to return to in the rubble? Much like life after a shock blast and blitz, everything just fell down, as if a gravity belt had been pierced, calling a whole fleet of people to hobble by foot to hospitals where piles of corpses toppled at entrances with makeshift bandages, wailing bloody faces, and children, bricks, dust, and metals hurtling forwards in the air. Journalists look for passports, pens, their breath, and sturdy shoes, as over 100 miles away on the island of Cyprus, locals felt the blast, some stilled, some were slightly shoved sideways. What happens when your world collapses? Through the Casper dark night, names of the missing or wounded are channeled through screens. In the background, buried limbs start protruding through rock. As you sleep, then cannot sleep, the alive feel lucky to be alive, but where to sprint now when uninhabitable homes keep crumbling possessions? Unluckiest brothers and sisters, there to weep and there to witness the demise of your country in minutes as the firefighters and the healers raced over what had been exposed with little or any warning. The smoke reached Damascus as the skeleton of buildings shot seismic iron rods and geometric disarray in still frame post-eruption, signaling more grief and clear sense of a disaster worse than war. Calamity in the capital city of Lebanon. I send out my condolences in healing prayers and song. So this poem is also a poem that I have recently written regarding the current times. And it is about love because it shows that somehow love gives you hope despite its absence. Sleeping Beauty awaits the resurrected streets. It starts with a quote by Dan Apps. I breathed in the air the dead breathed out. Beyond the overgrown briar rose, I slept with all the books that I have harvested. I listened to the conversations from my garden. Women talk about how their husbands fix their drinks as they watch the heavy rain, humidity still glazed across their cheeks. I hear of sons who forget their father's birthday, cloned lovers who argue in Spanish, young girls talking about young boys, neighbors learning the names of plants. We are making plans for every eventuality is the general school of thought, but I can't quite imagine it. I can't tune my clear audio to the outside world. What does a country represent when it has succeeded its stabbing? Every district did it differently, up and down, like the notes on a flute, various fingerprints pressed, timescales and cruel crescendo of corpses, bones dug up in the too far away future when they call us medieval and have evolved to something more technological. So much of it is about belonging. Lockdown loosens, near yelps to stay apart, coughs that echo down empty roads, graffiti over MDMF boards on the shops, statues defaced and signs pulled down, the homeless pegged up in train stations, gangs hide from running in circles, strays under strobe street lamps, so lonely now, they reach delusional, taunt the jumped up activists into rogues. I've been watching the sky like a cinema screen, drinking projections, tiny cranium pavement cracks, clouds showing slow motion reenactions of cave paintings. Kama Sutra lit couples argue over answering the door to parcels they never ordered, as dismal as a candle flame in direct sunlight. I hear an opera voice from an open window, the sound that breaks your heartstrings after you have not listened long enough to the harmony in your own arteries. Virus diminishing. You saved yourself from the thorns, but what about when lockdown lifts and you have no one to run to, except the alluvial depths of the ocean beckoning you closer with a pinch? A solar eclipse on the summer solstice, an improper and crude, jacked up new moon. The world has changed in a myriad of ways, but consumers are comforted too quickly. Streets are resurrected too soon. A second coming. What are the dead singing? When to dress up? When to unveil? So much of it is about unbelonging. Sleeping fists opened, locked jaw unclipped. Bring us back home, they cry in soft wisps as ships of people return from frontline battle, back to littering the beaches. So much of it is still to be healed. In the liminal, luminary world of lockdown, anything was possible, but only the probable has happened. I used to love walking into the noise. Now I long to move closer to the sea, lodge myself under a dervish whirl of waves that cascade a Scottish bay. I'm not sure if I can ever be more distant, because the epidermis of the computer screen has responded to my touch. And the steady meditation of field animals is the nearest to normality I know. To graze the earth all day with fat tongues for sustenance and sky bathe under an Arcadian clock with no concern concocted other than to feed the slow conveyance of bright mornings. Beyond that, catacombic parks before and after dark, an impressive periscope of exotic full-throttle birds. Oh, unsullied sun, I have not wasted an hour indoors. Every day writing, I feel more than reborn. The transformations from all the upgrades, universal downloads, speak up, act out, change, redefine our past to empower our future. As phantom fevered brains are unblocked, the world's despair gnawing, terror growing, but shutters pop. Curtains open, people remember the taste of coffee, baptized by a brothel of baristas, relish in catching glimpse of strangers as the moon's bleached skeleton takes to her throne every night, upright enamel in our shared patch of ether. Bars and museums unmuzzled, look what we have been gifted. An amphora of sun-consoled seafarers walking the land again to anchor themselves into the arms of their long-limbed beloveds. Under the circus stances of all that has been impoverished, still an uncanny circumference of longing, with no one to run to in your city after your country lifts its restrictions and everyone you are yet to love is still so far away. I save up my coins for a fortune teller, with hands made of sunbeams and a hot ride in an air balloon to balance across unpolluted skies, a landscape of human contact yet to be mapped. Okay, just checking the time there. So this poem's called When Lovers Fall Apart, and it starts with a quote from Tennessee Williams. We live in a perpetually burning building, and what we must save from it all the time is love. Leaving you was like walking away from a burning building. Running would be cowardly without trying to extinguish our passion. But staying meant I would get burnt, as your fire was far stronger than me. As I stood outside, I watched you fall. I heard the screams of everything you housed echo out their differences through crumbling walls. Your flames licked, lapped at the night, and your tears of ember met my sweat. Smoke signals begged me back inside so we could smolder together. So I'm going to do a poem, another short one, a 1-minute poem. I variate between very short poems or quite long ones, but don't worry, the long one's out the way. So it's a series of short ones left here. And this one's called Siphon, and it's from the book that Caleb and I were talking about at the start. Snare on the fourth pulse, you take me underwater, where the shadows of sharks graze forgotten shipwrecks, the heart all petrol spill, androgen and tempo, synthesize diaphanous lungs. And we are in that bar again, all tongue-tied, then tipsy, in the Neptunian dark of the date's end. My fingers press into your body, half expecting to surface on the other side, thread through like a nail-slit daisy chain, palm temperature, fit for ceremony. A scriptorium of futuristic mannequins line the main street windows facing home. A faint nimbus of subserrated rainstorm illuminates a planetarium of medusae. Your scent over my clothes siphons to meet my pillow's last lullaby, and my mouth keeps me awake with the prophecies scored in braille by our kiss. This is a very short one as well, called The Bard, and it's based on a small terracotta relief that basically it's three figures, a Highland chieftain in his leather and all his silvers, very stern, sitting on his throne. His lover, his wife, sitting on his lap with her head on against her, palms shut on his lap. He's about to go to war, and there's a bard in the corner, the early poets, playing an instrument and sharing his prophecies in song and poetry. The bard. Her face is the sea under a harbor of flickering lights. There is no spindrift, no tide, no turmoil lurking beneath. Tentacles tug at her splintered heart, because every time he leaves for battle, a segment of her soul sinks to the bottom. This is love, the fear for departure, an unknown return. Love is not constant, but here it pulses. The guzzle of blood is heard beneath the skin. She is dreamlike, sated by the bard's familiar ostinato and the drumming tenor of her lover's heart. He is a Highland chieftain. He knows war is not glamorous. The reel of carnage stagnates in his mind. He is mute, demasked, reserving his strength to lead armies, defending his life. His back almost crescent-shaped, arms slouched, for now he is tranquilized. Love rests against him, something pure, like an inaudible rustle on a peak just before the storm of the wolf moon. The old bard is a prophet. He plucks the harp strings, pacing the Scandinavian invasion into poetry. He sees beyond the sea and the glittering guise of dorsal fins, but he is a cursed romantic, a coward under steel, a drunk under stars. His whiskey-filled flask tossed over his shoulder, it helps him to blot out the spill of visions. It helps him to dream of love. He plays them this melody, but it's no serenade. It is a warning, a war song, boar blood in color, sculpted in terracotta. No glass can contain its music. So I have one more poem for you here, and it's called The Mad Hatter of Heart Matter. And it's a poem about a connection that I started with another writer who lives in California, actually, so across the Pacific Ocean. And she found me from an essay I wrote on narcissism online, and we started talking, and we've had a fantastic connection over about 2 years, back and forth. And I just think it's wonderful how, you know, the origins of love letters between writers. We haven't met, but we know each other on a literary, mental level, which I think is something worth pursuing. The Mad Hatter of Heart Matter. The ancient Egyptians' debacle, preserving a person's viscera in 4 canopic jars: stomach, intestines, lungs, and liver. The heart is removed, mummified, placed back into the vault of the chest like a candle in a moving lantern holding the flame, shielded against the wind of all external forces. The dark transgresses. An arrow enters and penetrates. Every passion worth having contains sulfur, waiting, and infinite vulnerabilities. Rarely is the heart harmoniously hammered to another, often bruised, conquered, torn apart, and even eaten by a lover. Yes, let me eat your scalloped heart. Now carnal lust rules with its tall merit, and amorous love seeps deep into the Western consciousness. Love is not just a literary concert or soul value, it's human intrinsicality, the body's entire emotional life and soma ruled by the heart. Take my heart, Cut it clean out of my rib cage and lock it in a covenant with the relics of saints. Where does the heart belong? All along, beating before it is gutted, probe gently by a coroner if you're lucky, pulse back to life, even if it is broken. I am luckier to live. Do not let it fester in my chest. Lift it away before it makes more mess. This venerated martyr, untimely sphinx, secular enough to hang inside a great tower, a tongue inside the bell banging its edges of the tulip-shaped wall, gilded in bronze, alloy, and copper, pricked for a tune. Tell me, what is the song of my heart today, as it feels for its own anatomy, repairs itself in the quiet, rejuvenates itself back to boom, by the young girl in San Francisco who finds you under two etheric wings, narcissism and Nabokov. A fan of your writing has flair, fodder, fuel enough to feed you, stun you, make you smile, patches you up solidly with her golden sentences and the language of another together. Intimate sunsets in New Orleans on the cards, of star-crossed forbidden pairs stretched over the Pacific Ocean, folding water on maps to imagine closer crossings, hearts telling the only tales they know, weighed up for judgment with a sprig of rosemary, dreaming with only meantime in between, only craving, telepathy, true eros, and no memory. Cantering each day into the sun, as if we could actually write our very own story and invent our own kind of zip line to love. Thank you. And I look forward to listening to the rest of you. I'm going to hang around. New voices. I'm excited.
All right. Keep it going for Janette. Oh, they loved it.
Wow, is that real cheers? Cool.
Yes, they're actual recorded.
That's not a cassette you're playing.
They're real. They're
real people.
They're recorded at our in-person open mic, which we've had to move it into an online event as in the pandemic, but we've been doing this open mic in Asheville for almost 10 years now.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's so we're keeping it going. And now we have this great ability to bring in our feature poets from all over the world. You don't actually have to be in Asheville. Though we would love for you to, if you're ever in the States, come join us for some readings in Asheville. Yeah.
I will.
Of course, now's not the best time to come to the States.
Now is just a time to dream.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, that was a beautiful reading. Beautiful poem about the Beirut explosion. Somebody commented the poem itself was an explosion. I love that.
Oh wow. It's beautiful.
Yes, and the smoke signals poem, the bard, the love poems, even the desolate love poems. It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you, Caleb.
Absolutely. Let me see if we had any other questions. But I will ask. Oh, and thank you for the Ginsberg comment. And thank you for comparing me to the young Ginsberg and not the old creepy Ginsberg.
Not the creepy old creeper.
But it absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. He was definitely an influence early on, getting me into poetry.
Sure.
Ginsberg was huge. So I would ask, what are some of your influences? Who are some of your influences? I'm curious.
I think it shapeshifts over time, but
yes.
Beginnings, yes, beat poets for me were a huge awakening as well. But for me, I did my thesis at university on women of the beat generation. So I went to San Francisco, I went to the City Lights bookstore, and I found all these books by women that wrote Off the Road and Diane de Prima,
Diane de
Diaries.
Prima.
I was like, you're not going to be marginalized. Let's dig you bitches up. You know, like,
And they definitely the beat movement was very
predominantly male,
of course, but there were these really powerful
women
poets
who stayed at home,
who
who weren't allowed to be on the road, who couldn't, just jump in a car and have these adventures. They had kids upstairs in cots sleeping, so they took their drugs downstairs in the living room.
Right.
Let Jack in through the front door and William out the back,
But total badasses for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's a great influence, and I know that the American beats were so well received in the UK, and really, as we could see, they have a continuing influence over there.
I think it's something to do with the delivery and the performance and the pronunciation and like linguistic, stylistic play with delivering language. The beats just had this way of just nipping it exactly how it should be. So there's a lot to learn from them. But then, I just enjoy finding books randomly, and there's voices hidden everywhere that I think have messages for us as we go along. But I'm a huge reader. I have to read to be inspired, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And also I've noticed there are a lot of things that are also different about the poetry communities in the UK or Scotland in particular. In the US, you have for one, the pamphlets, we call them chat books over here, but I like pamphlets.
Love it.
I like that. But also you have poetry shows, and maybe just because I was at Fringe, but I noticed every poet had a show. They're like, come to my show. It's not a reading. It's this thought out. It's a show that tells a story and often has other elements to it as well.
Absolutely. That's when the poets start mixing spoken word with theater. And so they usually have a background in theater, and they kind of want to perform, they want to act. So they have a 1 hour show, and then you just rehearse it, and you take that show everywhere. I mean, personally, I couldn't do on repeat like that.
Right.
That's just not in me. I would get so sick of it. And I think it's quite hard to memorize. I mean, I don't memorize a 2-minute poem, let alone a whole hour of my work. How on earth do they do that? Gotta hand it
here.
Yeah. I totally freak out.
So I guess I can pick up on some of the Scottish elements, but and your book deals a lot with identity. How does your Algerian identity play into, how does that have a poetic influence?
I think so. My Algerian identity gave me a lot of restrictions growing up. So it was something I had to rebel against and fight against, because I grew up in a Western world, but I had a strict father who wanted me to have arranged marriages and, arranged marriages. So I was going to get married many times, but just the one. But, that just wasn't, I was told I had to go to an all-girls school in London. And then my mother and my father divorced, and my mother moved back to Scotland. She's Scottish. She's like, I want to go back to my homeland. And I was 12 at the time. So from that kind of early pubescent, like early teenage angst time, when I finally started to properly write my diaries and things at 16, then I was looking back to the time before, and that kind of, maybe I would say slightly traumatic, especially when it's ingrained in a Western world, and it just doesn't kind of work against the localized traditions around you, and you see yourself in a different light because of the way that you raised yourself, I guess, against your parents' one. So there was a lot there, but there's a lot of homage to my ancestors. It's not all bad. It gave me like an exotic outlook in a different culture, and I'm also a travel writer, so I love different cultures and different places, different landscapes. I mean, I say reading inspires me, but just blindfold me, put me on a plane and let me off. And I could write a book in an hour. I just wouldn't stop, you know?
Right.
So,
I love that. And I look forward to the travel, the nonfiction collection. Hopefully
excellent.
coming out soon, forthcoming.
Yeah, it's nearly done. Just got the editor working on the final after about 15 drafts. But hey, again, we're in it for the long haul, aren't we, Caleb?
Absolutely. And sometimes it does take a very long time. But, but I respect that. Good for the process, and makes good work for the reader in the end. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
I think so. I have a good feeling about it.
Oh, thank you. I'm absorbing your energy through the ether right now, so that's wonderful. Thank you.
Indeed. Well, we're sending out much love tonight, and
thank you.
I think we're gonna move on to some other performers, but Janette, I can't thank you enough for being here. And I do want to encourage everyone to go to the website and buy the new book, and keep up with Janette and all that she's doing and the wonderful work. And we hope to have you back here again sometime in the future.
Thank you for the flight in the internet. I love it. I left
certainly
so far, but I stood still.
Yeah, I love it. And thanks for joining us so late. I know it's very late in Scotland right now.
2:44 a.m., but I love this time of night.
Me too. I'm a night owl, and I love it. And I really hope to get back to Edinburgh again one day. That's a magical city.
Definitely. Come back. Welcome arms here, Caleb.
Thank you, Janette. Really appreciate you joining us.
Take care. Keep doing what you're doing. Loving it.
Thank you. Everyone give it up one more time for Janette Ayachi. And you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Many thanks to our featured poet, Janette Ayachi, tonight. Please check out our work at JanetteAyachi.com. And if you're performing tonight, make sure to follow the StreamYard link, enter the studio, and we'll get you on here as soon as possible. Let's see who we have coming up next. On the mic tonight, we have Lee Stockdale in the house, then Low Wolf. We got Morgan after that, Christopher T. George, KJ, Zen Sutherland, Kevin Evans, Max Melner, if you're out there, and Emilio Maldonado coming at you tonight. Y'all stick around. It's a great night so far, and yeah, we're just getting into the groove here. Many thanks to our sponsor, Kava, Sovereign Kava speech. Many thanks to Sovereign Kava, our sponsor for this event. Stop by the Kava bar and get your Kava. If you're performing tonight, you get a free double shot. But anyone, stop by the bar. They're open for cashless to-go orders only. Masks are required. Mask up and go get your Kava. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's get our next performer on here. Hey, we really appreciate the likes, comments, and shares. I know we have a few more comments here for Janette. Yes, indeed, lots of comments for Janette. They liked it. Many thanks to the Kava Lactones tonight for our theme music. You can find the Kava Lactones on Facebook and archive.org for live shows. Kava Lactones music on Instagram. We appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Lots of comments here. Just gonna breeze through a few of these, but we do appreciate all the support, likes, comments, shares. Many thanks. Excellent. Yes. And big shout out to the crew down at the Kava bar. Y'all rock. We're dealing. All right, we're getting fired up here. We got Lee Stockdale in the house next. Y'all know the drill. Make a whole ton of noise. Lee Stockdale, y'all. Lee.
Caleb,
Hey.
how you doing, man?
I'm
Hey,
good, man. I'm good.
Janette,
I'm
what? Janette is fabulous.
right.
What? Really beautiful. Wow. And
Incredible poet.
you were in Edinburgh and met her there?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there in 2013 for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and big shout out
Wow.
to my friends James Mackay and Matt McDonald for hooking me up with those gigs, so I was able to come
Great.
across Jeanette's poetry. I don't know if I
Wow,
would
she
have
was
otherwise,
beautiful.
but
And that bomb poetry, that explosion poem that she did really was fabulous. And I'm glad
powerful,
actually
yeah.
that she brought, I've always thought there was a little Ginsberg in you also, a little beat poet. And so I thought I would say, I did hear, did you ever hear Ginsberg live?
I've heard recordings.
No, did you ever hear him read yet? No, you were
Oh
young,
no,
too young for
no! I
that?
think he passed in '95,
Did
right?
he?
So I
So
was
I
maybe
heard
10
him
years old.
I heard him live in '75 when I lived on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. He was performing with, among others,
Wow.
Patti Smith, Yoko
Oh,
Ono, Gregory
woo!
Corso, William Burroughs. It was the St. Mark's in the Bowery Poetry Project marathon. Then
Yeah,
you know about that, yeah.
the
So
Bowery. Yeah,
and then
unbelievable, Lee.
yeah,
What a
it was
reading!
unbelievable. It
Wow.
was a great reading. I never heard of Patti Smith, but she blew my mind. She was so funny, and she was so
She's cool. Yeah, she's one to
oh
look
my
into.
God, she's great. So and so I'm glad that you mentioned Ginsberg. And if people have not read Howl and Kaddish,
Of course.
right? I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you mentioned W.S. Merwin. Just died
Oh yeah.
recently at the age of what, 90 something, 90 something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was
Yeah,
very old. Yeah, he
in
hung on.
Hawaii, but
Yeah.
still writing
Mm-hmm.
to the very end. So
Even
look,
and he
I don't
went
want to.
blind in the end, and he would dictate his poems.
We all go blind at
Wow.
the end, Caleb. I'm being a little funny there.
Thank you for
Okay,
that.
I'm not going to take any more time with all this. But
Lots to
boy,
look forward
Janet,
to.
thank you so much for getting someone like Janet, who would be difficult for her to come down to Biltmore Avenue on a Wednesday night, right?
Right?
From
Yeah.
Edinburgh. Yeah.
That's been
So
one of the
wow,
silver linings in all of this is that
really, that's just
all
great.
over the
I
world
I
now.
hope whatever happens, you keep doing this thing. That I hope you
Well, thank
do.
you. I'm starting to hear that from different
Oh,
people. So
you
we'll
got
see.
to,
We'll
man.
see.
Because you can do
Yeah,
both things, right? You can do
I think
the
so.
Wednesday night thing at the Kava and then do this. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you can't get Janet here on a Wednesday night. I mean, you could, but it's going to be
it's
difficult.
difficult.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to read. I'm going to read three poems tonight. Not real
Excellent.
long. Three poems.
Cool.
So I'm going to read. Let's see. What am I reading? Okay, where is it? There we go.
Got
I'm
it.
here.
I'll turn it over to you, Lee.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lee.
All right, great. Thank you. This is called Train Station. Disembarking the train in this crowded station, all are strangers, except for the woman staring at me until I realize it's my mother wearing her green suit. And even from this distance, I intuit the strange pin she always wore to go with it. Her hair's just been permed like a plastic helmet. The color is good. Sometimes it's not. Dead 25 years. She looks healthy, interested. But who is that man? It isn't my father, touching her shoulder, pointing her toward a corridor I can't make out. And this is called Bridge Above the Thames, which has got kind of a sort of British Isles flavor for Jeanette. So if you're still there, Jeanette, my people come from Scotland, the Magruders and the McGregors, and I've always wanted to go to Scotland. So someday maybe I'll see you there. Bridge above the Thames. I stand on a bridge above the Thames. Surface gray water, gunmetal smooth. Pieces of broken ships float under to prove the current's velocity. People cross from one side to the other. No horse-drawn carriages or single riders, walkers only, women in hats with wide silk ribbons that lift in the wind. Men hide beneath heavy wool greatcoats, strike their canes on the smooth, worn stones of the bridge in this sleepy town. I, in the middle, directing souls from life to death and back again. Ladies and gentlemen, watch your step. And this is called Black Crepe. My wife and I felt the rumble before hearing the whistle. Glasses in the cabinet shivered. We thought the whistle might be a migrating owl. Do owls migrate? The question left us. No owl can sustain a call that long. The rumble and whistle got louder and nearer. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Without a word, we went to the door to see Lincoln's funeral train in our subdivision. Lights came up and down the street, flicking on. Neighbors came out on front yards, tying bathrobes. Our sleepy-eyed son emerged. What's going on? Shh, my wife said. It's Lincoln's train. Black crepe dripped from the train's darkened windows and swathed Lincoln's photograph lit by a lantern. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Caleb. Good night, Asheville.
Thank you, Lee.
See
Give it up
ya.
one more time for Lee Stockdale.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by, Lee. Wonderful poetry.
Thank you. Thank
Beautiful
you so much.
poetry.
Bye, Caleb. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lee. Take care. All right, you're tuned in to the one and only Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Coming at you from North Carolina, my living room, live tonight to wherever you may be. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to bring you a little love and a little light into your homes or wherever you may be in these trying times. And bring you poetry and other performance. We welcome all forms of artistic self-expression here on the mic. Big shout out to our friends and family down at the Kava bar. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to the people listening in the parking lot. Why are you still there? No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, thanks for hanging out and listening. I'm sure the guys won't mind if you go bug them for a few more drinks. Love our Kava Bar family. We miss doing the open mic in person down there, and we'll bring it back as soon as we can. But we've got this new thing, and we're going to keep this going. So, up next, I think we have Low Wolf in the house. It's so good to see Low Wolf. She has been away from the open mic for a little while, and I'm very glad she's back tonight. She's got a brand new album out, Singe, which you should all buy. You can find Low Wolf on Bandcamp and Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. But y'all know the drill. Jump up and down and make a whole bunch of noise for the incredible Low Wolf. Low!
Hi.
Hey!
How's it going? What's up?
Good. Good.
Hey.
Looking good, sounding good.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
welcome back to Asheville.
Thank you.
You had a little trip, right?
Yep.
Cool. Well,
You could
good.
say,
Welcome back.
Yep, I had a trip. Mhm.
Say no more.
That's
Very
best
good.
not to.
Sometimes it is. But cool. Lo's got a new album out. I just mentioned that. But anyway, I'll mention it again. That's on Bandcamp, and where else can you find it? Is it on Spotify now?
Yes.
And excellent, cool. Spotify.
Yeah, please stream it because it doesn't matter. So
It does.
yeah, stream it away, please.
Cool.
Spotify.
Everyone go stream the Low Wolf album, Singe. But listen to
Please
this
listen.
first.
Yes.
Yeah. We got Low Wolf here to perform a few songs for us tonight. Lo, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thanks for being here. All right. Give it up for Lo.
Whirling and whirling, I'm a weather vane on it. Going, I'm going where I said I'd be going. I could stay behind, plant your corn in crooked road. Some things you cannot tell, you gotta show. I'm one of a kind, I'm a natural born misfit. There's no box for me that's ever gonna fit. It's pretty hard, those deep dark woods you've shown me. Taught me like a school kid, I learned lessons on my knees. Want someone to die for you, remember old JC. It costs a lot if it's free. I'm one of a kind, you're a natural born misfit. There's no cross you carry that I won't help you lift. Rip off my toenails, my eyelashes unscrew. Made of paper, it ain't too hard to come unglued. You can chase me down like water spins the drain. You'll be drinking blood from my veins. I'm one of a kind, I'm a natural born misfit. There's no box they make that I can't learn to split. Can't play with the big dog, stay on the porch. You're only gonna light my candle, honey, why'd you bring that torch? Your time is running out, you can bend or cut it up. May you never know the limit of my love. Your time is running out, you can bend, shut it up. May never know the limit of my love. Okay, I really didn't think much past that one. How is everyone doing? I hope great. I don't know where everyone is, but I hope you're good. Drove my car over broken glass, it shattered just like that. 1 minute I was holding the next I was shaking. Where? Flash a light, I'm breathing in the spark of my last cigarette. So much I hadn't done yet. Hard, hard, hard to turn far around. Take whatever they can pound, pound. Cracking egg against the bowl, the orange tongue will drip. Got a scar on my spinal cord, 6 to 8 seconds of bliss. Looking in his bright blue eyes as the light gained up my wrist. Can't believe I ditched our barroom kiss for this. Good, 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 poor, sit there tied and bound. Take whatever you want, pound, pound. It's hard, hard, harder to turn the car around. You must bury what you love in the ground. Fly my back down the winding hill, the city's burned behind. Even as a little kid, I ate the melon down to the Rhine. I locked myself in the heated car with the rope still in my mind, singing no one on earth gets out alive. Try, 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 try to rage against the sound. Still bury what you loved in the ground. I think about the night I almost drowned. Then I get into my car, turn it around. Sat there with that chord still in my mind, singing no one on earth gets out alive. Just get into your car, put it in drive. Get into the car and take a ride. Know that no one on earth gets out alive. We're singing no one on earth gets out alive. All right, I'm gonna play one more. I don't have any funny jokes. Small city, big town, rivers rising, waters brown. Hard to find a place to call your own. Okay, now live like that. No, I won't be the one taking care of your housebound kitty cat. Shut the door, lock it up. You're not sick, you just fucked up. Small city, big town, rents rising, wages go down. Hard to get paid $1 an hour. Oh, I do not work for free. Everything you're doing, you do it to the least of me. Shut the door, lock it up. You're not rich, you're just stuck up. Small city, big town, rivers rising, waters brown. Hard to find a place to call your own. Small town, big city, World's last insecure gets grit. Not high, just fucked up. Yeah, well, have a great night, everybody. Love you.
Love you, Lo. Beautiful set. Good stuff. Many thanks to Lo Wolf for coming by tonight. It's always good to have Lo Wolf in the house. It's great to see this this cool mix we're having now. These long time open mic favorites and new faces from all over the world. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for performing. Thank you for tuning in and just liking, commenting, sharing. We really appreciate it all. Let's see. Yes, some comments there for Lo Wolf. And of course, big shout out to our friends down at Sovereign Kava. Thanks for tuning in there tonight. They've got a good Kava buzz going by this point. And yes, indeed, we keep this open mic going no matter what, pretty much. So we are here and we are rolling, and we got a lot more performers coming at you tonight. Check out Lo's music online. The new album Singe is out. Stream it on Spotify. Buy it. Give her money. It's we love to support our artists. Also, buy Janette Ayachi's book, the new book, and you can find that on her website, JanetteAyachi.com. Many thanks again to our featured poet. And we have a great featured poet for you here every week now. Next week we'll have Kimberly Sims in the house. So we're looking forward to that as well. And yes, indeed, stay with us. We'll be celebrating 10 years this October. And y'all be sure and stay safe out there. Wear a mask. And be sure to vote, register to vote, all that good stuff. And stand up for what is right and what is just. We're going to keep this mic rolling because we got some more awesome performers coming at you. Up next, we got Morgan in the house, then Christopher and KJ, Zen, Kevin, Max, Emilio. We got an awesome night, so we're going to keep it rolling here. Let's see. We got Morgan. Let's see if we can beam in Morgan from Florida, right? If I remember correctly. Y'all give it up in the house. Hey,
all right.
Morgan.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
to
actually
see you
up in
again.
Virginia.
Oh, yeah, right, that's right. Virginia. Sorry,
Yeah.
I get confused. Where in
Williamsburg,
Virginia?
Williamsburg.
All right, Williamsburg in the house. That's what's up. I love Virginia. Thanks for being with us again tonight.
Good to be here. I love Asheville. Wish I could be there in person, man. It's such a great town.
Well, hopefully you can come by once we're opened up and doing the in-person thing again. So
definitely.
But thanks for joining us tonight.
Cool.
You got some more good poems for
Yeah,
us?
I got a couple.
Excellent.
So yeah, y'all were talking about the beats earlier, and so I don't know if you ever have this thing where you read somebody else's writing and it makes you angry because you wish you had their life or whatever. But I do that with Jack Kerouac novels. I get angry because I'm like, why couldn't I be you, Jack? You know. And so this is kind of this poem.
You probably dressed it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's
still,
true.
yeah.
I hear that. Yeah.
But cool, man. Well, cool.
All right.
I love the beat influence. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you.
Great.
All
Okay,
right,
yeah.
here's Morgan.
So this first one is San Francisco, and it's my response to reading Jack Kerouac's Desolation Angels. All right. Why couldn't I have been the Franco-American nearly getting hit by a car in San Francisco, racing across the street to grab Allen Ginsberg, the great Jewish poet who relished the madness of the best minds of his generation, running naked through streets, getting busted for weed in Laredo? Do you want to know what the best minds of today's generation are doing? They're memeing their way into becoming a virus. They're trading hot takes on a gay cowboy with a tiger who hired a hitman because his outfits are so outrageous and the cool people hate watch everything. Why not listen to the gay black cowboy instead? Why is masturbating to what is impolitely known as white trash so delicious to the bourgeois radicals? I could have been in San Francisco in 1957. I could have had Burroughs and Cassidy and my grandma's red Oldsmobile off to Mexico to get mushrooms. Why did I have to be born into this hideously self-conscious age where all the influencers proudly label their so-called art content, which is a perfect name for something that only fills a container? I hope my rainbow vomit is never content to fill up space. I tried you, Twitter. Oh, I tried. 7 likes and no retweets. I'm deleting you again. Why couldn't I have been you, Jack? Your words are every bit as autistic as mine are. Your life was every bit as bifurious as mine is. You're the only other person I knew who grasped the secrets of the R-hots and said, I'm bored, I can't do this because I only write run-on sentences and there can never be a period. And if this is the complete singularity of bliss, then I'm going to scream stop until the other hippies on the psychedelic retreat come running to hold me down and stop me from jumping in the fire. It was better the second night. I wish you could have been there, Jack. Maybe you were there. Maybe you're my ancestor. Did your family come from Southwest France too? Maybe somewhere back a Guiton married a Kerouac, and that's how I got your blood in my veins, even though I do this weird thing where I only write in quatrains and occasionally rhyme. Why don't they love me, Jack? You had the hipsters while you were still alive. You had a crew of men, each of whom you slept with at least once, even though you preferred women. I haven't read your biography that closely because anything about my identity is surely the same as yours. We are both from France, even though we're white and we don't have ancestors. And perhaps the very thing that makes us so manic is our people decided against living in ceremony and being sanghas for each other. Except you had geniuses to smoke weed with. And yes, I do have some geniuses too. Every single one of my counseling clients could easily show up in your novels. How do novels even get published nowadays? How many times do you have to bend over and grab your ankles to get anywhere in whatever actual industry exists anymore? Jack, I wish I could just read you without flying into fits of rage. Why can't I just enjoy art and not need to melt down other people's paintings so I can body paint myself onto my kitchen floor at 2:30 a.m.? Are you cheering me on? Are you inside me like the Holy Spirit? Is this even sort of like what you used to do? I stocked up on all the medicines I needed to bust open the chakras so I could just flow like Old Faithful. Maybe it's because I'm not having sex with my wife since both of us can't be sick and I have to be protected. But all this tantric energy has to go somewhere if I want to sleep. So good night, Jack. I'm going to try to masturbate, read a few more pages, and not immediately write another poem. And this one is called Elves. We are elves on a secret mission. Our mother has anointed us with dew that permanently stained our trousers after many hours crying deep among the leaves since no one else could see the magic and we had been sent to sit in the corner for studying things that fall outside the purview of standardized testable reality. We were fascinated by our tongues and our fingernails and our nostrils, so we touched everything. And somebody said, stop. And that made it an obsession, which then sent us to the clinic where we were asked a series of questions and our parents anxiously hoped that they would get a positive diagnosis so that resources would become available and maybe we would still have a chance at a career other than retail. Or if we did end up in retail, we would have enough mindfulness to do it cheerfully without needing to crash back into home and disallow mom and dad from retiring and crawling back into the ground in peace. We could maybe stand on our own one day. But until that day, we had our hands tightly held. We were guarded very closely because our mothers loved us more fiercely than Sally Field's movie characters have ever loved a child. And the product of that love is complex because we don't think we can do anything by ourselves. But every time we walk in the woods, our divine mother, whom we saw in our earthly mother, says how much she loves us. And we feel her kissing us every time there's a breeze or a light rain, and we don't understand why other people run inside to get out of the rain because rain is water's poetry and having a wet head is delightful, even when you're wearing makeup and get to have an excuse for looking like you had a wild night and feeling like you just made out with the creator of the universe, whose wedding day is every day we notice her. By middle school, we knew that we were living in the wrong age, since when we read Charles Dickens novels, the heroes made sense to us. But looking around the lunchroom at all the pathetic pseudo-irony and posturing, we were confused as to why this had been established as the norm. And that started our wheels turning about capitalism until we realized that we are the saboteurs of capitalism by our very identity. We can never be cool because we are allergic to inauthenticity. Though we can mask and play along for a season, the mask always pops off and people see why it makes sense that we have never been popular, and those who are wise to us have learned to keep their distance. That's why we're not chained to the mill like everyone else. We are ready to walk out into the Elysian fields beyond it because we are the ring bearers who were gifted with curiosity above all else. And an uncurious world has never stopped rejecting us, which has only fired up Mount Doom to burn these loathsome heavy rings we were given to bear so that we can unimpressively save the world through our weakness that inspired other people to help us and gave us so many fairy godmothers and eagles who simply swooped down and carried us several thousand miles in their talons. It's our job to make the world human again. It's our job to show what a market can do to parental anxiety, which becomes the tick of a child who watches nervously. And yet we will not stop at victimhood, but show the victory also. May the world see that an Aspie without shame is basically an X-Man, and actually anyone can be an X-Man when you learn to listen to the deepest voice in the universe through many hours of studying waterfalls and reading psalms, along with burning many things and watching fire dance and asking it questions over the course of several decades and wondering if the same fire has been talking to you the entire time, and the fire tells you that you are its ashes and you will never stop being sown all over the universe. So you swell up at the prospect of giving birth to a nebulae of stars as we discover how to tune our consciousness together enough that we can experience the deep divine joy of creation as though we are all an orchestra together doing it at once. The elves are the keepers of the labyrinth, the spiral passage from which the deep calls into our deep. We do not keep anyone out. We simply move about throughout the universe, building labyrinths and portals where people of all kinds can walk through and find a pearl on the path. It is a sacred and holy task to be the tug-of-war team that shows others how to transform the world's no into God's yes, which would become for others as soon as we've heard it ourselves. This is what it means to carry a cross in the form of a seductive ring. Poets have tremendous power and manic egos and autistic quivers and romantic wings. We can rewrite the human imagination if somehow we overcome our need to be gods, which makes the difference between hell and heaven. And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Morgan. Beautiful stuff. Really
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And I do hope you can make it back again soon.
For sure.
Awesome.
All right,
Well,
take care.
Absolutely. And everyone out there, give it up one more time for Morgan. Joining us
Thanks.
from Virginia tonight. Thank you, Morgan. Y'all keep tuning in. We're here each and every Wednesday night for more Poetry Open Mic Asheville. Y'all rock. Really appreciate everyone. Again, my name's Caleb Beissert. It's good to be with you tonight. Many thanks again to our featured poet, Janette Ayachi. And we're going to keep it rolling here because we got a few more performers coming at you. Next on the list, we have Christopher T. George in the house. And then we got KJ coming at you. And Zen Sutherland, Kevin Evans, and Emilio. Emilio's flying in here in a little bit, so y'all stick around. It's been a great night so far, and we're still having a lot of good fun here. Some comments from Morgan. Yes, indeed. Thank you, everyone, for the comments. We appreciate all the likes, comments, the shares. Keeps us going. We really appreciate y'all's viewership. Thank you very much. Please support Sovereign Kava, the Kava bar here in Asheville. They're open for cashless to-go orders, mass required. Also, kickback delivery through Kickback Asheville. And if you're performing tonight, you get a free double shot. You can pick it up at the bar. Just tell me, do they open mic? And we got them. Very good. All right. We're going to keep it moving here. We got Christopher T. George joining us again. I think Delaware, if I remember correctly. Good to see him in the house tonight. Y'all know what to do. Make a whole bunch of noise. Hey, Christopher.
Hi there, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing tonight?
Okay, yeah, you're correct. I'm in Newark, Delaware, but I'm a long time Baltimorean, and before that, a Liverpudlian.
Right.
I went to the same school as John Lennon.
Wow.
Quarrybank High School. You may know that the Beatles were originally called the Quarrymen after Quarrybank High School.
Oh, yeah, I think I had heard that, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Wow, dropping the deep trivia on us tonight.
And I went to the same primary school that he did too, Dovedale Primary, yeah. And
Far out, man.
we had a friend that took us on a private tour. We went to Dovedale Primary, and there was a wall between the girls. I mean, I'm talking about kids, 5 to 10 or something like that, 5 to 11, I guess. And according to our friend, Lennon, there was a space. The wall didn't go all the way to the top, and Leonard would pee over the wall over to the girls' side, according to him. It doesn't sound physically possible to me, but that's what his story was. Anyway, wow. This is
John Lennon.
occasioned by being in school in Liverpool, teacher in the park, and I have to say, I'm not in the least bit religious, but I can understand the power of religion. And as I wrote on this piece of paper here, I'm not religion, but I do recognize the power of religion in people's lives, and that religious themes can be very powerful in literature.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you,
Christopher. Oh, and by the way, Morgan's over here getting the toaster oven fired up for you.
Very good. So. That's great.
Excellent. All right. Some poetry by Christopher T. George. Give it up.
Thank you. This is called Teacher in the Park. Passed over again for headmaster, he knew why. Paid to teach religion to a class of snot-nosed boys, atheists, every one of them. He no longer believed, and it was plain to all. He sat in the park at lunchtime, respite from the classroom, the chaos of the canteen, and ate his sandwiches, chalk and nicotine on his fingers, his gown ripped at the back, the business end of his tie shorter than the thin end. 7 a.m. bacon and eggs strained in his chest. He gazed at the birds' nests sunk in the damp crotches of the trees. He waited for the pink finger of God to poke through the grey cotton wool clouds to prove it all true, after all. As I was just saying to Caleb, I'm not myself religious, but I've written a series of poems about a Catholic priest from Ireland, from Sligo Island, in Central America somewhere. And he has this mission to the Mesquite Indians in this unnamed Central American country. And he is home for the death of his father, the funeral of his father. This is called His Father's Funeral. Home from his mission to attend the funeral, O'Malley sits in the funeral car. His mass kit jiggles on his knee. The lanes near Sligo glint sodden with summer rain, just as he remembered. People stand on the curbside as they pass, the rolls bumping along after the hearse. Nice to see that he was so curt about, O'Malley remarks. Da's been gone so long, as if he'd gone to another room. His sister Colleen sniffs. A richer conveyance than Da ever rode in life, Mam speaks, twisting a lace handkerchief, face hidden behind a black veil. The worn black Italian leather case bounces, surface blotched with dampness from the jungle. Clinking of chalice, votive glass candlesticks, the wine bottle, the host box, 60 host capacity. The limousine crunches on the churchyard gravel. Businesslike, he draws out his purple silk stole. We'll see the old fella has a good sending off. He smiles as swans rise from a lake into the sky. And this one's called The Meaning of Fireworks. Da laid out in the front parlour, his father at the last, pasty-faced, in an oak coffin with brass handles. O'Malley, his son and heir, thought the practice barbaric, if not blooming, bloody, outrageous. But 'twas the way of the old country, expected, if not always amenable to modern taste. O'Malley, the priest, expected to accept all the old rigmarole like a jolly old boy, the good son. He'd been exiled among the Indians of the Americas, become foreign to the ways of Sligo, although he'd slid into the place between showers to share the old man's final moments, his final torments. Hallelujah. And so now, as Da is lowered into the clammy earthworm soil below the brooding headland of Balbon, orange Montbretier raked by rain, O'Malley remembers the fireworks tableau the Mastites had ringed up to celebrate the death of the guerrilla Delgado. Crude papier-mâché figure, a piñata for their hatred. Yellow Catherine wheels whirled as red and blue skyrockets streaked skyward. Death forever glorified. And incidentally, when I was in Ireland, I was staying in Northern Ireland, but I crossed over into the Republic and did go to Sligo and visited the grave of William Butler Yeats, which had some orange Montbretier on it, and that's what occasioned that image in this poem. Going to end with one more poem, The Griot of Guantanamo Bay. By ember light in an acacia clearing, she hums an Afro-Cuban lullaby as faces watch in shadow. Blood-red Caribs, conquistadors, comunistas, dawn at Gitmo. A parched crescent is lapped by Caribbean blue, skin-tearing cactus, 2 rows of chain link garnished with razor wire. No longer just sailor accents of Flatbush or Biloxi, liquid Spanish of Havana or San Juan. Now the guttural of Kabul, Beirut, Tehran. Of captives in prison orange in wire cages. She claps in time to gourd, rattle, calfskin drum. She's a newsbringer, a praise singer, carrying scars for her murdered son. Ghost guerrillas move in the shadows, chamber click, snake hiss, panther snarl. Patiently the griot blows on the embers to illumine the future. Underbrush rustles. A spirit conflagration sets fire to the night. Thanks.
Christopher T. George, y'all. Thank you so much, Christopher.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I especially love that first poem.
Ah,
beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I hope you can make it back again soon.
Do it again next week.
All right. Sounds good. Take care, everyone. Give it up one more time for Christopher. All right. Yes, indeed. You know, you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from North Carolina, broadcasting all over the world tonight. Many thanks again to our featured poet, Janette Ayachi from Scotland, joining us from Edinburgh tonight. And many thanks to everyone else joining us from wherever you are. We're going to keep this thing moving here because we still have a few more incredible performers to get to, and we're really looking forward to them. I do want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava. They're open for cashless to-go orders only here in Asheville. Mask required. Mask up. And also, if you're performing tonight, you get a free double shot of Kava at the Kava bar. So be sure and take advantage of that. We really appreciate our performers. Let's see who we have next here. We're going to KJ next. Good to see KJ as always. Then Zen Sutherland, Kevin Evans, and we got Valerie joining us in the house tonight. Always good to see Priestess Super Vixen. And then Emilio will be coming in later on. So y'all stay tuned. Get comfortable. Get relaxed. Enjoy the open mic. My name's Caleb Beissert. It's really good to be with you tonight. All right. A few comments there for Christopher. Awesome. Very good. We appreciate all your likes, comments, and shares, and all the support from wherever you are. We definitely appreciate it. We love y'all. All right. Up next on the mic, we have KJ joining us. The fine Asheville poet KJ in the house. Everybody make a whole bunch of noise for KJ. KJ, hey, how's it going tonight, man? Hold on. We got you muted there. Hey, KJ, see if you can unmute your mic. There's a little button down there. There we go. Wait. There we go. KJ. Try it one more time. There we go. KJ. No. It's on the, sorry, big shout out to our technical director tonight, Morgan Beissert. He's on it. Try tapping that one more time, just once. Give it a second. There we go. Wait. I don't know. It just keeps, There we go. KJ? Hey.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Now. Yeah.
There we go.
No
okay.
worries. Sorry about that. Hey, we got you. Awesome. Good. It's nice when it works.
Yeah.
But we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Man, I am doing all right. And I'm doing a lot better being here with y'all, enjoying the poetry and everything. So I'm glad you could make it tonight.
Yeah. Can't wait till this cold weather come around. I kind of like the winter. Fall and whatnot.
Oh, I know. I'm going to get my wood stove going.
Yeah. I've been experiencing some freezing up with my Zoom. I don't know if this applies to live stream. So if I start freezing up, I'll do better just on audio.
Okay. That's fine.
So,
I'll let you know if there's a problem, but it's working great right now. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you share your poetry.
Cool. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, KJ.
All right. All right. Got a few poems. This first one is kind of rough on the edges, and it is kind of frou-frou and psychedelic. It's two parts. It goes like this. My circles of sunlight, like effervescent, fluorescent, psychedelic, retro traffic signs on urban pavement, hot heat and sweat visions inside teepees and saunas and sweat lodges, where a cherry red intoxicated days from many hues of a lantern haze, like cannabinoid chronic blaze, synonymous to that great godly light tower, or that burnt bushel where we hide our light behind, refusing to shine like that city upon the hill, like back in our heyday when we parted the seas, woke the dead. Part two is when we deeply listen inside the one. When I listen, I get to when I see you. When we listen, we get to when we see us together providing space inside the listening space of all five our senses and beyond, inside of a viscerally invigorating, surreal, slow motion, high definition, spirit induced, euphoric sleigh ride at the very tip of the northern hemisphere, or during an adrenaline power boost or funk percussion, as we're fully conscious of the one infinite creation while actualizing, while realizing at the same time our oneness as salt of the earth. Okay, that was a rough on the edges poem. This one right here, I think I'll do this one. Um, it's like a protest poem, and it's pretty immaculate. And This poem I'm gonna do, I'm not really apologizing. I'm not really apologizing for it. No pun intended. Um it's real dicey, and it started as a beautiful hook uh, to another poem, and then just took on a life of its own, and turned into a little protest poem. So uh, here goes. Uh, Power to the Panther, ode and tribulation to all light beings, super souls, Pan African freedom fighters of our diaspora, and those gasping for H2O and oxygen. Yeah, we cry out, Wakanda forever, that old Black Panther ode, in the dry skeleton bone desert valley, that cursed domain and wasteland of Babylon, USA, where they nip and tuck for cosmetic surgery for Jezebel and her fake hair, fake nails, and where the indigo and Asiatic gasp for water and oxygen, and children of the light wail that Jordan Sparks chorus. How can I breathe with no air? And there and then and again we holler, no justice, no peace. Screw you, fucking chief of police. How am I gonna breathe with no air? Says Jay Sparks, says C. Brown, says Martin Luther King, says Ahmaud Arbery, Rodney King, and George Floyd. Please, off my back, need water, need air. You already took what you wanted. You pillaged. You stole our gold and diamonds and essence when you exploited my Africa's bosom, my Africa's womb. Need water, need air, or I'll formulate a caper, stage a coup, burn your buildings down, take down your regime. Officer, please, off my neck and off my back. Need water, need air. As I yell, as I pump my fist, as I war cry and wail, the powers that be force me to resist. 'Cause no water or air, then no peace, no justice. Power to the people. Wakanda, power to the Panther. Yeah, so yeah. And this one is this one's kind of on a positive note right here. This one is woke and conscious via millennium of 2000. Utterly, utter fully, speechless, left almost null and void, full of substance, but yet formless, in awe of cosmic creation of that one holy God Almighty on high, who be given love, light, life to love and all of life, just as the universe and cosmos, planets, stars in the lower and higher ethers and heavenly realms, on that 10th, that 11th, and on that 12th plane of the heavens, and as all life forms, from the quarks and atoms, molecules of stones, moss, algae, to insects, to life, plant life, to fish, to land mammal, to fowl of the air, all creatures far and wide and beyond, with the breath, aliveness, reverberation of God consciousness and divine essence. Yes, and all the sentient who presently labor with birth pangs during the road ahead of the apocalyptic millennial 2000s. Yes, to our sentient ones, here's spiritual manna, God advice, and wisdom from great ones of the likes of Shogi Effendi and Moses and Muhammad, to Abraham and his seed, Krishna and Master Christ our Lord. Go ye and fight the good faith. Go ye and fight the good fight of love and faith. Abide in God consciousness and presence, and represent fully the God being you are inside of peaceful, loving self-expression. So, in this poem, I have a better, longer version of on my YouTube channel now under Quan Joseph, and that's KWAN Joseph. So, yeah. And this last little poem is this is kind of psychedelic or frou-frou or whatever you want to call it. But it's deep. Okay, so here we go. I trudged the less traveled path, off the beaten path, eye on the prize, single-minded, eyes focused, with a bird eagle feather totem of pastel colors and the like, of wine burgundy beige, mauve crimson, sky blue. I dreamt this in my native West Indies. All indigo children of the sun were salvaged in this life or the next, redeemed from earth plagues and pestilences. Afro-Asiatic peoples, children of nature and aphrodisiac, and salt of the earth flavor, were reconciled, rebirthed, reincarnate into an ocean pool of consciousness, teeming with fresh cosmic H2O and oxygen, and reservoirs of cosmic love, giving love and light to life as they wax valiant in the end times of creation, spawning up from asphalt cracks like Aretha's Spanish Harlem Rose amidst toxic asphalt of the mighty pale horse of Satan and the Grim Reaper. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, KJ. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. And I have, that one just turned me into a praying mantis.
Yeah, what are you?
That's... No, this thing just showed up on my window while you were reading that. It's pretty cool. It's a heck of a bug.
Yeah, bug. I summoned up the wildlife.
You did. You summoned up the wildlife tonight for sure, man. We're feeling that over here. But hey, thank you, KJ. That was beautiful poetry. I really appreciate that. I love those poems and yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, Wakanda forever. Love it, man. Thank you for joining us tonight, KJ.
All right, love y'all.
Love you too, man. Please come back again soon.
Okay.
All right, take care. Y'all give it up again for KJ. And you're tuned in live to Poetry Open Mic Asheville coming at you. We appreciate y'all being with us tonight, and many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, for bringing y'all the good kava here in Asheville. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get our next performer on here real quick. I know we got a couple of comments for KJ, though. Thank you, KJ. Very good. Very good stuff. Y'all be sure and take advantage of that free double shot over at the Kava bar. Just be sure and wear a mask and go down there and get your free double for performing tonight. Anytime. Yes, indeed. That's right. And we appreciate y'all all tuning in tonight. Thanks for the likes, comments, and shares. And many thanks again to our featured poet, Janette Ayachi. Buy her book right there at JanetteAyachi.com. I do that every time. It's over there. It's like mirror. But anyway, y'all fucking rock. And we got some more amazing performers for y'all. These are amazing people. And I'm so blessed. I'm so fortunate to be able to host this for y'all and be around all this beautiful creativity. Y'all keep doing what you do. You're amazing. Up next tonight, we're very fortunate to have Zen Sutherland in the house. It's always good to see Zen, another great Asheville poet. Let's see if we can beam in Zen Sutherland. Y'all know what to do. Make a whole bunch of noise. Hey, Zen.
Hey, Caleb. How's it going?
It's going well, man. How you doing?
This is one of the better ones, I think. I mean, they're all better, but this has really been.
I'm feeling it tonight.
I mean, Janette, is the type of poet that makes you want to be a better poet.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, when somebody they make you want to just do it more and get better at it. And I love that. I love that.
Exactly. And you're getting them from all over. Wow. I mean, I've read it.
Absolutely.
Kava.
It's been so great. I love bringing in the UK people, some of my UK friends, and And you're here in Asheville with us. You've been to the open mic at the bar before, and even people who can't make it by the open mic all the time in person, this is sort of open up an avenue for them as well.
I think this should run parallel to what you do at Sovereign Kava. I mean, it has a kind of a more intimate flair. I mean, you can sit in the back and listen and snap your fingers and that sort of thing, but to be right there in their home, even
right, yeah, you're right there, yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's very focused. But yeah, I definitely see at least some version of this continuing once we're able to do in-person events again. So, but
I'm all for it.
Support. Thanks for everyone showing up every week and doing this. And getting something out of it. And that's what it's really about. If we can, if everyone can get just a little something out of it, I'm happy.
That's great.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you came tonight. You got some poems for us tonight? I know you're a person of many talents.
Yeah, and so I am combining a talent with some poetry. So we'll see how this goes.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Zen.
Okay,
Everyone
thanks.
Put your hands together one more time. Zen Southern.
Peace, and I hope everybody's doing well. This is actually my studio where I do, one of the things that I do is to repurpose old toys and make them do things they weren't supposed to do or weren't designed to do, and in a way keep them out of the trash stream that is America, that sort of thing. And so one of the things that I've created is a haiku ray gun. And so I've taken a toy ray gun and put in random 575 lines that it's just going to pick at random for a combination of about over 6 million potential haiku. And so it's going to read you 10 haiku, and all I'm going to do is pull the trigger. So here's the first one. Bare buds on branches, stale spirituality, chance meets sex in fields. Okay. Number 2. The harvest of ants, children running past unseen. Day will come again. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to point this one at my head. History of the heart grows shallow like a puddle. I am that stillness. Okay. Number 4.
With a worn out heart, blind as a marble statue, streaks of anguish cross.
I forgot, is this 5? No, 6.
Growing thick and strong, to coax budding love, mechanical lips.
Okay. Actually has you can pull it back to do whatever. It was part of a toy game where you shot little Nerf things. And so I put a microcontroller in it. I put, a speaker. It wasn't designed for a speaker, used like some grill work and made it interesting. I'm kind of the mad scientist of my family. And here's number 6, haiku number 6.
Caught in a daydream, tasting all the lovely fruit, a champion lie.
Okay. And number 7.
Bones like stalks of wheat. So many roads to choose from, parents and children.
Of course, it's my voice, but I've recorded all of these 5, 7, and 5s, thrown them together and let it choose. Number 8.
Unable to stop. Deflated love balloons, framed by a small branch.
Okay. Number 9.
Pausing now and then, the crater of his dark face, blossoms faded brown.
Oh, poor guy. And the last one.
Wanting to go home, singing to the tune of life, catches like a match.
Yeah, the haiku blaster. I love it. So anyway, that's my poems for today. I decided not to read poems, kind of because Janette was so good. I feel like a lot of mine need work. I mean, and not in a bad way, in a very positive way. Same with you, Caleb. It's always a inspiration for what's going on here, and the other poets. Thank you very much. Peace out.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you. Amazing stuff. I love that. So that's actually a child's like Nerf gun toy that you've rewired to speak your haiku.
Right. And the other thing that I've done is taken little boxes and turned them into haiku boxes, and I tried selling them on Etsy. So we'll see if that works.
I love this. Well, check out Zen's Etsy, and I'd love to see like an exhibit of that, like a show. That would be really cool.
It's interesting. When I showed it at the mini maker fair here in Asheville, I just got pictures of people pointing it at their heads, and it's like poetry to death.
Right, right. What is it about these? Is it the haiku? Is it like...
Yeah, and maybe at some point I can work on components, parts of speech and a few other things to make a longer poem, but I just figured I'd do this and see how it works or doesn't, and it be its own performance. I actually wanted to do it at the Sovereign Kava and see the reaction there.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Well, yeah, maybe when we get back in person, that'd be great. But
that'd be fun.
But yeah,
be different.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Caleb.
Absolutely, Zen. Thank you very much. Everyone give it up one more time for Zen. Peace. Peace. Yes, indeed. We like different. And, yeah, I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, Morgan's interested in that, too. We got some comments here for Zen. Comments for Zen. Oh, what's up, Keely? Big shout out to Keely Flow. Hopefully we'll get her on the mic again soon. Yeah, very good stuff. But yes. Yeah, we're gonna link y'all up. That is good stuff. There's a lot to do with that. Oh, question for Zen. What kind of microcontroller are you using? Respond in the comments if you can, Zen. We already got Zen off there, but anyway, yes. And feel free to post questions for any of our folks in the comments. We really appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Wow, it's been a fantastic evening so far, and it's not over yet. We encourage you all to go and check out Sovereign Kava. Open for cashless to-go orders only, mask required here in Asheville. Thank you to our technical director tonight, Morgan Beissert. And thank you to the Kava Lactones for our theme music. Also, if you're performing tonight, you get a free double shot from the Kava Bar. So drop by the Kava Bar, wear that mask, and pick up your double shot. And vote, too. It's good for you. Very good. We got some more performers coming at you, so y'all stick around. Very good. Big shout to the folks at the Kava Bar. Also, shout to my dad. If you're tuning in tonight, much love. And my mom. Thank you for all the support. It's good to be supported. Cool. There's the answer to that, Morgan. He says thumbs up. Cool. Cool. Up next on the mic tonight, we have the amazing Kevin Evans. And then we have Valerie, aka Priestess Super Vixen, in the house. And then we have Emilio Maldonado. So don't touch that dial. Keep it locked right here. Poetry Open Mic Asheville Quarantine Love Stream. Live from North Carolina, all over the world tonight. Let's see if we can beam in Mr. Kevin Evans. Swaps! By the way, Morgan's here tonight, too. You stick your head in here and say what's up. Morgan is our technical director, and we couldn't do this. Yeah, we couldn't do this out without Morgan's support. We really appreciate him in the house. He's usually remote, but we're in the house tonight. So, hey, you know what to do. Jump up and down, twist around, make a whole bunch of noise for Kevin Evans. Kevin is here with us tonight. How you doing, Kevin? Cool. Good to see you, man.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. Good to see you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Morgan says what's up as well.
Yeah, back at him. What's up?
Hell yeah. Kevin knows. Kevin's been doing the poetry cabaret shows with us for a long time, and Morgan's always out on the road, our stage manager, wrangling a bunch of crazy poets, making sure we are where we want to be. Man, this praying mantis over here is really hanging out. It's waving at me right now. Maybe I shouldn't share that, but
no, it's all good.
Cheers. Good to see you.
Cheers.
Yeah, what you up to tonight, man?
Well, I did a little rehearsal for a performance that's going to be online Friday at 7:30 p.m.
Right.
Sorry, my phone fell over.
Oh, no problem. I think you posted the link to that just a second ago in the Poetry Open Mic Asheville Facebook group.
I did.
Yeah, we'll get that posted here in just a second. But yeah, tell us about what's going on.
Okay, so basically it's for the whole Black Lives Matter movement, but it's or it's related to that, but it's a performance by Stephanie Hickling Beckman. She does this. It's basically a performance group, I guess you would say, called Different Strokes. But
Oh yeah,
anyway,
I've heard of that. Yeah, cool.
yeah, so she's putting together one right now called Wild Black. That'll be Friday, September 11th at about 7:30 p.m.
All
So,
right,
but I shared the link.
cool.
We're gonna be doing it on Zoom and all of that. Is my volume all right, or is that me? Is it me that's
No, we can hear you loud and clear, Kevin.
okay?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I encourage everyone to check out the reading. We'll post that link here in just a second, on the screen. But, I know you got some good poems for us tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, I got one new one and some other
New
just
shit.
miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Kev. Everybody give it up for
Cheers.
Kevin.
Hola. All right. So this first poem is from September 7th, 2020, Monday, Labor Day. And it's also my brother's birthday, my middle brother, Ace. Happy belated again. And happy belated to Emilio Maldonado. Peace. Yeah. So, so this piece it's kind of about greed. And it's about jewelry and how people even sometimes even kill for jewelry, or how there's this whole especially for broke people, there's this whole thing, or not even broke people, rich people too, like people do all these things uh to get money and to have this jewelry, right? So this is kind of about that, but it's just about different things related to that and greed and death, unfortunately. Demons and the diamonds, you have to shake them out. Ghost in the gems, spirits spinning in the jewelry, fury and otherworldly sarcophagi dreams, in the gold, in the chained knots clumped in sangre, as Jesus and Mary pray over the brown soil chest. The perpetrator digs the disintegrating, evaporating minerals out of your breath as he escapes into the night's black hole, manhole exit. And that's all I have on that one as of now. This one is from April 27th, 2007. It is entitled Call for Arms. Maybe this is the call for arms that you have been waiting for, that you have always been missing. Maybe you should go that far to spar with what you've always thought you were imagining, what you were always mocking and dismissing. Maybe this is your blessing. Or is this the devil making dirty again, all up in your head messing, with no toilet paper or fan? Just the ultimate rotten stench of fresh sewage that your conscience just can't stand. You are that damn man. Wish you could be the man. Wish you could be the man, but you can't. Maybe in a distant old kitty dream, He-Man. But that's over with. You are just E-Man. E stands for easy, or E as in easily confused. Maybe this is a call for rebellion, revolution, to really break the rules. I learned to love you, but only after thousands of wars between us torn. I mourn the child born out of the toxic fields of barley and corn. Maybe this is all tattooed on the arms. Lands of farms harvesting death, wish, and hate. Harvesting reconciliation a few hours too late, making me wait 2 years for the ripe. Meanwhile, I witness ghost scaffolding the gold in your eyes. Maybe this is the call for arms that you have always been waiting for, that you have always been missing. Maybe you should go that far to spar with what you've always thought you were imagining, what you were always mocking and dismissing. Maybe this is new life hatching, a new time we are visiting and inventing. All right, so this one is from March 4th, 2020. Untitled. We drank sand from all of the tiny teacups, sat in the sandbox, sanding each other's wooden parts with sandpaper hands. All of the hourglasses filled with water, sweating as burning candles upon our bare, barren skin buried in cacti. Cat tongue licks beat our hearts with softest feathered percussion. The electric storm which has lifted the ocean interrupts everything. I only wish for my skin to be under sheets. My drunken buzz, bell ringing almost quietly in these corners covered in nocturnal outlines. We drank the wine, although we never particularly cared for the aroma and taste. But I always loved your hair and your skin and your folds. We ate our clothes and regurgitated orgasm, ached and ate ourselves por la mañana before work, ashed ourselves gingerly and begrudgingly into the sidewalks. All right, I got just a couple more here. All right, this one is called The Slits. Most of our hero days shut off into a bottomless glory hole in a box. Presents for all of your celebrations of life held inside. A hell-bent sigh releases all of your hang-ups, your strange cuffs, and your stranger mask that closed you up into half. Most of our superhero praise saved for the wooden box lowering, showering them in beauty, mostly because they're gone. The glowing, colored beetles of the summer hide in the ground where they lay their hatchlings. They lie down to hibernate in the ground through the winter, and we can't see a sound peeped of their iridescent nightlight spilt out with ease. Only a dream, only a smashing of them sparkly against the canvas of the crazy artists. But people and creatures make love in every season, even if you can't see them, just as they are born in every season. You can tear away their shine, you can tear away their wings, but there are more, so many more. Most of our imperial days have been cut to the cord. Some lick the poison, some lick the dirt, some hear the voices, some scheme the bird, fix the weather meter on the roof. Some talk to you, even though you have long since been condensation. You peeled everyone simply for the sensation. You raised them goats, them chickens, and them children, all by the same oath. You poke around the corners of the porch to find things your mamas and daddies had left them. Excellence is perhaps abundant if you're looking. Perfection, usually but a grift, to fool a trick, to subdue a myth. Mist, you arrived upon our glasses through windows, trains, and ships. You read the future in past tense, and the water, it reveals all of it. Fog in your morning slip away. Discover your flowing road as it roasts, ready for the roost. You roared some ravens through your teeth, and we all awoke as painted rubber duckies in a mother's means. The stream was but a wet crack in the earth. I do one last short one. This was written October 29th, 2019. It's called The Rare Angel Flower. Memories tenderly spindle in the trees. Rekindled leaves flap southbound, airborne panoramic feathers, fresher than ether. And this angel is heather. Every color of flower all over her window frame. When it snows, freezes, and when it rains. On the skies, when they shine and when they play. The autumn leaves have been so beautiful this year. Sometimes the turn of seasons feels as if we had never been born. Such a strange, strange year. And to be born, such a strange, strange fear to have. To be born, to be born. All the blueberries, the tomatoes, and corn already harvested. Apparently, there are no exceptions for flowers that are angels. Thanks, y'all. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, y'all check out the link for Wild Black.
Thank you, Kevin Evans.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful poetry, man.
Oh, cheers, cheers.
Absolutely.
It was some stuff that I came across and I was like, oh yeah, I need to read that. I haven't read that in a while. I haven't even looked at it in a while. You know?
Right. Man, I don't. Yeah, that's. So was that some pretty old? Some of that was old. Some of it was very new. Some of it was pretty old too.
Yeah, some of it seems like quite a long time ago, but it was just within the past year. But you
Right.
know, so much has happened. Like that
Oh,
poem
and
I
now
just
this year
read.
seems like 10 years or something, but.
Yeah, that poem I just read, that was from last year, last October, but it was like there were premonitions in some of those.
Right.
Like there was one poem, The Slits, where I said something about a mask early on in it.
Right.
And I forgot about that line. But that poem was written probably 2014 or something, talking about a mask or something.
Yeah, I've been having the same thing too. I've been going back through old stuff and just seeing all these references to masks, and I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't really thought that much about masks, and of course I was referring more towards costume masks in a lot of these poems. But poems take on new meanings as they grow and age, just like we do. You know,
they do. Just like words take on new meanings over time.
All the time, yeah.
Especially when they travel.
Right. And then then those words we can't define without other words. So it's this whole big churning thing. So I feel that, man. And
absolutely
this mantis is still hanging out over there, just clawing at the window.
There's been hella katydids out here. We've been getting the katydids all over the place.
Oh yeah, what's a katydid?
It looks more like a leaf than a grasshopper, but it's in the grasshopper family.
I've seen the little leaf-looking bugs.
Yeah, that's a katydid. It has some other. It has several other names and technical names too, scientific, but I don't know all of that.
I've been seeing some cicadas too. Coming in. Those things will surprise you when they kind of fly into your face. You know? They're big. But man, Kevin, it's always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by
Likewise.
tonight. Absolutely, man.
For sure.
And I hope you can make it back next week.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. That'd be great.
Awesome. And hopefully we'll get together in person again before too long. But it's always good to see you. It's
Right on.
always good to hear the poetry, man. Thank you for that.
Back at you. Thank you.
All right. Y'all give it up one more time for Kevin Evans. Swamps in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight for Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina, USA. Broadcasting all over the world tonight. We really appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. Yes, indeed. And we have some comments here for Kevin. And we also have that link. We'll get it posted. Oh, it's posted in the comments now if you want to check out the link to Kevin's reading on September 11th at 7:30 p.m. Appreciate y'all supporting our poets. There's the link right there. You can catch it in the comments. Click on that and make sure to check out the reading here in just a few days. Thanks for tuning in tonight. My name is Caleb Beissert. It is always good to be with you. We're glad we can keep doing this. We're glad we can keep bringing you poetry and art every Wednesday night, 8:30 to midnight. Keep tuning in. We got a few more guests coming at you, so keep it locked. Up next, we have the amazing Priestess Super Vixen. It is so good to see her back in the house tonight. She's been a favorite at the open mic here in Asheville, and we're happy to welcome her back here tonight. So let's see if we can beam in Valerie. Y'all are gonna have to make a whole bunch of noise though. Y'all know what to do. Put the hands together, jump up and down, and shout and cheer for Priestess Super Vixen, Valerie. Valerie!
You can hear me.
I can hear you.
From where I stand, I can just barely hear you. All of a sudden, I heard you guys loud and clear, and then all of a sudden, you're so low I can barely hear you. And I've been playing with my volume and everything, so I don't know what happened over here.
Technology can be funky sometimes, but we can hear you loud and clear. So I'm going to just turn it over to you, but I just wanted to say it's really good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. And I'm going to turn it over to you now and let you share. Y'all give it up for Valerie.
Good evening, everyone. And my extended family out there, Sovereign Kava. It's good to be able to have this opportunity to express. So I am doing a new podcast called Enchanting Asheville, and I do several different things on each one of my podcast episodes. So I do what I call an enchantment. Thank you. An enchantment. So this is from an upcoming episode, which is going to be featuring Melody. So I'm going to read one of them. Let me make sure because I have several. Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and read one of my enchantments for you. The enchantments are considered healing words for my listeners. Okay. All right. My dear ones of all cultures and all human nations, sit down and relax. In this quiet, sacred moment, feel the peace surrounding you. Feel the strength of Mother Earth underneath your body and your feet. As you inhale and exhale, you notice the rhythm of your breath. The rhythm of your heart starts to coincide with the heartbeat of Mother Earth. All time You're back in the sacred space, standing in the creek. You feel the cool yet lukewarm water on your feet. Although you're in the water, you feel grounded, or shall I say, connected to all the stones and pebbles underneath your feet, and connected to the sand underneath the rocks, connected to Mother Earth itself. Beyond the encroachment of trees, you see a clearing, green pastures ahead. To your left, way out in the pasture, a group of people signal you to come to them. From afar, it looked like familiar family members that has passed on. As you get closer to the images of the people you're coming towards, it, they keep changing. As you get all the way to the circle, you intuitively recognize each different ethnic person in the group. These are you, who you were in past lives. You knew they were you because there's something familiar in each one of their eyes. There's something that you slightly remember about being those people, an Indigenous American, African Indigenous, Indigenous Australians, Irish, Asian, Pacific Islander, Jewish, Scottish. They are all you. As you held the hands of them in the circle, the many ethnicities keep changing. Even their gender keep changing. The energy of love, familiarity, taste, smells of different cultures bring you back to the memory of the lives of old. You become lightheaded and disoriented. You start to fall back out of the circle as to faint. And as you did, you were encircled by women of all of these different nations. These wonderful women are medicine women, shaman, midwives, and mothers who energetically catch you from falling, allowing you to float in the air. They turned you upside down so that you would look at a stack of quilts from many nations, mats of many nations, prayer rugs of many religions, and even a good old fashioned patch quilt done in the Americas. The wise women flipped you back onto your back and gently sat you on top of the pile of culture, ethnic pride, and love. Warm tears flow from your eyes down the sides of your temples and onto the rugs beneath. The more you cry, the more comfortable and wider the pile of rugs beneath you became. Your tears cleanse your shame from ignorance of the past, ignorance that you are separate from all of these other groups of people, ignorance that only your particular culture and structural beliefs matter. ignorance that somehow you are more special than all other ethnic groups, ignorance that you're even superior to a wounded one. You now know that all of these people are you and you are them. Your solar plexus starts to quiver, and you place your hand over your belly button. Then your whole body starts to quiver. You were too afraid to open your eyes towards the sky because you knew exactly what you would see. You wanted to see it so bad, but you weren't sure if you were ready for this knowledge. The whole universe heard your thoughts and played kindly in your favor. You knew you were going to see the faces that represent all ethnic religions, the true image of God, Goddess, in its entirety. When you opened your eyes slowly to the sky, you instead saw three large feathers floating from the heavens down upon you. The first one was a white dove feather that slowly fell from the sky right onto your chest, and your body stopped quivering. His second feather was a large macaw feather, and it floated gently down and landed on your chest. The last feather was a gigantic eagle feather, and it floated down to your chest. When it did, the faces, the circle of people, the medicine women all disappeared. You suddenly hear the noise of the creek again, and you look down at your feet and you see some floating upstream. You start to hear the faint drum. Somehow the drums felt heavier and deeper inside of your chest. You look up to your left, and on one branch, you saw three birds, a white dove, a macaw bird, and the great American bald eagle. The drums get loud as they bring you back from whence you started, back home. Welcome back home. Now this, what we do here, reset your compassion, your love for yourself and for others. I'm just going to allow that only one enchantment for tonight to give someone else an opportunity to do whatever they choose. Thank you so much, Caleb, Morgan, Stalvin, Kava, and all others.
And thank you so much, Priestess Super Vixen. Beautiful. Thank you for the enchantment. Thank you for the beautiful words. We really appreciate your being here. And I encourage everyone to check out the podcast. I've been listening. Check out Enchanting Asheville. It is important work, and everyone should really listen in. Thank you for sharing your light with us tonight, Valerie.
I appreciate
Much
you.
appreciation. Absolutely. And much love here on the love stream. Y'all give it up one more time for Valerie, aka Priestess Super Vixen. All right. Hey, yes. Oh, it feels good. It is good to be here with y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into the love stream tonight. Poetry Open Mic Asheville coming at you every Wednesday night. You can sign up in the Poetry Open Mic AVL group on Facebook and keep up with what's happening there. We're live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night, 8:30 to midnight. I can't thank everyone enough. All of our incredible performers tonight. I'm so blessed to be part of this community and be surrounded by this creative spirit. We do have at least one more performer for you tonight. And so y'all definitely want to stick around for that. Let's see if we can get him beamed in here. And whoever else is coming, by the way, last call for performers. If anyone else wants to perform tonight, follow that StreamYard link and get in the broadcast studio so we know you're ready to go. And of course, if you're performing tonight, you do get a free double shot from Sovereign Kava here in Asheville. So stop by the bar, wear a mask, and get what's yours. We appreciate y'all. I'm gonna do a couple of these my translations from the Spanish of Federico Garcia Lorca, the great poet from Granada. This is Puzzle of the Terrible Presence. I want the wind that continues without the riverbed. I want the wind that continues without valleys. I want the night that continues without eyes and my heart without the golden flower. The oxen that speak with giant leaves, and the earthworm that dies in shadow. The teeth of the skull that shine, and the yellow that saturates silk. I could see the sorrow of wounded night wrestling curled around midday. I resist a twilight of green venom, and the crumbled arches where time suffers. But do not illuminate your clean, naked body like a black cactus blooming in the reeds. Abandon me in a longing of dark planets, but do not show me your thin, fresh hips. Puzzle of love that is left unseen. Just to hear the bell of La Bella, I will give you a crown of verbena. Granada was a moon drowned among the ivies. Just to hear the bell of La Bella, I tore up my garden in Cartagena. Granada was a rose-colored roe deer by the weather vanes. Just to hear the bell of La Bella, I burned in your body without knowing whose it was. And I'll do one more of these from the great Lorca. This last one goes out to my good friends down at the Kava bar. If y'all are still tuned in, this is Puzzle of the Bitter Root. There is a bitter root in a world of 1,000 terraces. Not even the smallest hand breaks through the door of water. Where do you go? Where? There's a sky of 1,000 windows, battle of livid bees, and there is a bitter root. Bitter. It hurts down in the sole of the foot, the inside of the face, and it hurts in the fresh tree trunk at night recently cut. Love, my enemy, bite into your bitter root. Hey! All right. Let's see if we can beam in Emilio here. You know we got Emilio for you tonight. Excellent. Oh, we had some comments there for Valerie. In case I missed those, I don't want to skip over that. Many thanks again to Valerie. What a beautiful performance. And definitely check out the Enchanting Asheville podcast. Amazing stuff. Yes, indeed. Comments. A few more comments for Valerie. Thank you. Awesome. Appreciate that, y'all. Very good. Be sure and catch us here each and every night. Wednesday nights, that is. 8:30 midnight. We really appreciate y'all. We're gonna beam in Emilio straight from Chicago. Our good friend. Let's see if we can make enough noise to do that. Morgan, are we gonna make enough noise? Oh shit! What is that? The neighbors making noise over there now? Oh yeah! Oh man! Emilio!
That was some
What's
cool,
up, brother?
That was some cool backwoods rowdy. What the hell's going on?
You know about it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's good to see you. Yes, a very Asheville welcome for you. And happy birthday, by the way. Amelia just had a birthday this weekend, so
Thank you.
cheers. And
cheers, everybody.
Yeah, man. What you up to tonight?
Well, first I want to point out the Chinga la migra. So that's like a old way of saying fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the performances tonight, like whoa, like I was really, really blown away by a lot of the performances. Your feature was amazing.
Dude, it's been incredible. Yeah, Janette from Scotland. Yeah. What a fantastic poet. I really want to get her over here to the States.
Oh, that'd be bad. Yeah, that'd be cool.
We need to go over to Scotland sometime too, because they've got it going on over there for sure. But
yeah, man, I'm down.
Yeah, and everyone's been amazing, man.
No, yeah, the invocation
Zen,
just now.
Valerie, Kevin. Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
It's been good, yeah.
The earlier duo was KJ.
Oh yeah, KJ, man, my man.
Yeah.
KJ's great, man. He's had a lot of the. He does. We finally got slam poetry again here in Asheville.
Okay.
For like the obviously Amelia's in Chicago, the home of slam poetry, but I'm sure being from Chicago, it's amazing to see how slam has spread across the globe now.
It's crazy. The first time
Kevin and all them are doing a good slam here in Asheville for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
No. Just the first time that I had like a what the fuck moment with the poetry slam was actually when I saw the Slam movie. You know what I'm talking about?
With like Taylor Molly and what's the Mos Def?
Wait, was it?
I think it's something.
No,
different.
the Saul Williams one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I love Saul, man. Saul came to my college when I was in university.
I saw him perform too.
Oh man, like what a monster, man. I mean, Saul. No, everybody walks away from seeing Saul changed, but
no, what I'm saying is like
one
he
of those
made a
figures
movie
at the heart of it. Yeah.
He made a movie. So when I saw this movie on IFC I'm like, what the fuck? Like I knew it was spreading, but it was like seeing a movie. That was like, damn, not just poets, but slam poetry. Like with the whole and yeah, no, it's been wild. I mean, shit, like uh the birthplace of it, not it's like all of it. I mean, it was a lot of the
Yeah, I mean,
the
you've
rules
basically
and the
seen it all happen.
well, I wouldn't say
From kind
I
of
go
a
that far back, but yeah. No, it's
well, yeah. I mean, you
it's
weren't
wild.
there like back then, but you certainly. I mean, you've been in Chicago for a long time, and
Oh yeah, man.
You've seen it
Yeah.
evolve like since
I'm just saying I wasn't around in
late
like
'90s at least.
right. I meant like at the birth of it when it really
When did it start? Like mid '80s.
mid late '80s.
Yeah.
That would have been a stretch for me to get out to a bar.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
at least mid '80s. Mid '80s, I still had
Yeah,
fucking
definitely
zits all
not
over.
me. I
But
don't know what I'm talking about back then.
by the late '80s, like '89, I was already able to get into bars and Weeds and the poetry slam was already well known by that point. So
right.
But yeah, no, I saw like all these people that I'd been doing poetry at 1 week and then another week they're on HBO. Like the fuck?
Right.
Like, whoa. It's
Where'd
like
that
they were
come
just
from?
they were just wasn't that I didn't like his shit then. Like what? How the hell he get there,
Right. Well, I mean, I would credit that whole movement with like getting a resurgence in the interest of poetry,
Absolutely.
as poetry as it continues to kind of fall out of popularity to all this other like media we're bombarded with. Slam was one thing that brought a non-poetry audience back into poetry, and then now like that's I'm really interested in that, like with the poetry cabaret stuff and all that stuff is about bringing this non-poetry audience, letting them experience poetry and realize it may not be what their preconception of what, and they might actually like it. I think a lot of people they read stuff in school or whatever, and they're kind of sold this kind of wrong idea about poetry, but I would give a lot of credit to Slam for that, for bringing people into it, and then these people really get into poetry, and start reading the the more what might be more academic stuff or more. I mean, I don't even want to draw those fucking lines, but expanding their poetry vocabulary from there.
I know what you mean in that way, but I think when you start to, especially like in the last say 40 years, when you are at this like younger new place of discovering poetry, and then you get turned on, you can actually go and learn more about your identity than you could ever get in like a textbook in a classroom, and in a lot of ways you might now run across Audre Lorde, like you might open up into like Eddie Two Rivers, and like shit, man, like I'm so well versed in some of the masters because I've seen enough movies, but like where am I ever going to learn anything that has to do with someone growing up in Montana or someone growing up in East Harlem or and I think that is where a lot of the poetry slam, like that next generation of exploration that those kids will do, those young people will do, is finding out that there's poems that other people wrote about themselves.
And you end up kind of finding your own identity.
Well, it further helps you grow into
that,
it.
Yeah.
I think so. And I see that a lot with a lot of the younger poets. Like I really feel like there's like this big like strengthening and deepening of poetry. You know, I see how many more poets, uh, are becoming playwrights or
Right. Yeah, making
blossoming into
films.
other right,
Like, yeah.
blossoming into other things or cross pollinating with other artists,
Mm-hmm.
and how many uh, are new voices. How many are young
Right.
voices? How many are
Yeah.
yeah
And it's so good to see all these poets and really young poets too, and people getting into it and really taking it
right,
seriously.
and having these great ideas. It's like
Yeah.
these real
It
like
thrills me. Yeah.
yeah like
Absolutely. And I see people on the other end of it too, like doing the open mic. I'll see people who are maybe coming back to poetry after doing
yeah
something else, and they may have
right
been successful in whatever else they were doing, but they always had that poetry with them, kind of helping them, calling them, and you know, other times people find it later on. But it's always
mhm.
interesting to see how people come to it and see what's going on right now in the world of poetry with so many incredible young poets who are writing right now and
Yeah,
actually getting acknowledged for it.
right.
I think that's something that's really maybe
Well, it's
changing.
thrilling, and it's
Yeah,
thrilling.
it is for
Yeah.
sure. Woo! Chicago in the house. You got what you got? You got poems? What are you doing? What are you doing tonight?
I got a couple of two tree poems.
That's what's up. Well, Amelia, man, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I want to hear the good poetry. And dude, thank you for being here
You want to hear the
tonight.
good poetry? Oh wait, let me go get
No,
your
I
book.
want. Yeah, right. Nah, read it all. Hell yeah. Good poetry from Emilio Maldonado. Y'all give it up.
Yo 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 yo. Let's see. I looked for a kind of a common theme. I was inspired when I saw the feature, and when you guys were talking about uh, her Algerian background, uh, and how that was something that she first was stifled by and then rebelled against and then dove into and learned. And it reminded me of this time I got to go to Andalusia and into Morocco, and just like the memory of gypsies and gitanos. So sacred rivers, places and names. A mountain speaks, asks for its tribute, gets lost in delusion. Fearsome, terrible, and old, it is lost to us. Prayer wheels and sacrificed children. Robes, briefcases, and tomes keep the blood flowing. Spitting the unknowable as figured out. Looking at the mountain as vistas, slopes, y los de abajo para sentirse más arriba. It's easy to say, I say, in the hut amongst the tribe. We speak Ulo and Cuauhtémoc when our shoulders are young and knees still bend. Nightly ofrendas get illuminated by GE and sacrifices made to blue lights. Ya no se prenden velas in this land beneath the mountain. Sacred rivers got creeked and hydroelectrified, reclaimed for strawberry fields, smoothies. No one takes a knee. We sit on our asses. De rodilla, siempre suplicados de la chamba, peregrinos al H&M. Dejamos las pistolas a favor de un 4x4. Usamos las armas contra los príncipes y princesas en lugar de decir las gracias. Fairness. I was on the rain-slick street and eventually walked away. She didn't. And her tribe, scarred. But drinking and fucking and dancing Balkan gypsy hillbillies, screaming into the dying light, defying it. Using magic and accordions and tubas, make the days and nights blend and last. My heart breaks to their songs. I fight men bigger than me. I take women bigger than me. I drank whiskey to words I don't understand. Y lloro a estas canciones de ladrones y amor. Y puta madre, sabe, perro, no es gitano. No es conocido. Son los hijos de la chingada madre Roma. This is a really old, little short one. Silly questions. Every fence post has a vacancy sign. The dark gangway is charging by the hour. The busiest corner of the red-lit bar has a firm mattress and clean sheets. Every taxi's concierge is discreet, and the train car won't tell. This is the newest one. I just wrote it last week. I hear gunfire and slam doors before I fall asleep. I smell my cum, memories of wet dreams, and unbathed second shifts and after-hours dirt bourbon. Dried urine and saturated boxers in my legs. I'm almost able to rest. My clown car of humiliation and capitulation. Like doo-wop oldies playing songs of love and bravado, other older ways are forgotten or dabbled in and ruined by white folks and monetizers. I've got so much trouble on my mind, refuse to lose. All I want is a Pepsi. You're the one who's crazy, institution. And I come away with a different point of view. I can't see a forest, I can't see trees. Don't correct me, I know what I sees. Getting waves of cold water coming back in. More living deaths up in the north. Dormancy and cycles. Gray skies. Can't rest. Rotten teeth stink. Don't kiss deeply. Broken dick don't fuck even with whiskey. Who can afford dignity? It's these classic movies of heroism and cleanliness. Here there's filth and heat. My thesis will never get defended. I parked my car on a sidewalk. I limp now. How much more of this? How much more of this? How much for all of this? Yard sale, cast off soul. Can I get a Band-Aid? Can I get a mojito? Otro baile más? Dreams are taunts sometimes, my dear. At least I can't touch dawn. At least I can't fuck up a sunrise. So far. So these are two kind of a little short and sort of stinky dirty. The gypsy branded me con un coraje, brother. She just stepped out of the shower and I swallowed my cigarette habit. The moon shaved off its beard and the Kit Kat card game was busted by all the reasons Helen should have been left to the Aegeans. She was gone in 2 days. Dreams have gotten lazy. Popeye gave me a black and white movie. Time to hop on a boat. About to eat out the stripper, and I look over and smile at Nina. She is bartending and loving how dirty I am. It's about 30 minutes before she takes a turn at the stripper. It's about 7 years before we start taking cab rides home, breaking her wedding vows. We left the bar separately. I stopped listening to my friends years ago. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you answer my call. We're competing with the upstairs neighbors. Disrupt the early morning silence. You yell quietly to stop. I ask innocently if you're okay, as you laugh and tremble. I wipe you off my chin. Too much booze makes my mouth go dry. Your lips are all right. I get us a drink. I'm smiling. Soon it'll be my turn. Your eyes. I did it at the old Blue Note, on the floor, painted with the pool. I want to rub my chin whiskers on your belly, on your thighs, on that patch of bone and skin and stubbly hair. I want to offend all of them ladies on the bus and attract all of the women with your last night early this morning come. God damn, I love pussy. I wear a beard so I can carry you around on the way home. This is called flailing. I'm stared at by every angry brown-skinned male. I've been cursed with that zombie third eye, running with the ghosts of the sexiest lips I ever kissed, the Platonian ideal of soft. Flailing. I'm falling down the 4th rabbit hole this week. Been using the drink me glass with amazing familiarity. I'm a warehouse of fading memories. The old booze sticks a little less. The used to be hotness is wore out. Lake Erie's skin tough. Leather smiles make me go limp now. It's a new night, and it's tripping balls and Pilsen with the Bosnian crazy gypsy. A cockroach crawled out of the crack on the hipster bar. She left to piss and get rolling. The magic behind, inside them hips, that half a smile, mostly from her eyes. Demon rum? They never met a gypsy, at least not this gypsy. Coño. I wake up spent on a desert floor. 700-year-old bricks and 17-cent plaster surround the room I'm in. I look forward to remembering the drums. The awful seared-in smell of 30 dancing men and women. Cunts, hairy armpits, curtains of lust separated me from eager virtues. Am I on time? Can I get 2 more? Hey, buddy. All right. Thank you. Terminal bar. I sat for Picasso once in Barcelona. I angry fucked several whores over several weeks. Awkward smile at the Korean mart because of the smell. A polite hate, a polite smell. A polite hate fascism. We revel in such niceties. I took Sancho Panza to the 20th century. We both got our dicks wet. One of my greatest achievements might have been making a whore come. It wasn't the best lie I ever believed. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't finger bang you through your stockings high school style. I didn't walk you to the men's room and eat that delicious ass of yours. Here's also what I didn't do. I didn't share my popcorn with you. I didn't open my quart of beer. Drinking my flask already made me feel like a lowlife. I didn't need the dirty pants, holy shoe announcement to pour my Carta Blanca into a lemonade cup. There's heroin, Tony, dozing off or eating candy bars. It looks like the same shit. He's searching his phone and Facebook, desperately hoping to be remembered, looking for likes. I do the exact same. Zombies never attack each other. We're just looking for fresh meat. DK has its own unmistakable charm, I suppose. Tony doesn't even wipe away the dried blood anymore. Cratered forearms. Can't help a brother with beautiful green eyes. That Mexican Mike, we all love him. He buys the beers, shares his hooch, we do the shots. I find a clown's been long for these parts. Sox fan with teeth and a teller of asinine asininity, if there's such a word. Don't worry about stepping away. There's never a point. It never ends. I avoid sleep because I can indulge in the fantasy that you will call, that you thought of me before you slept. God's least favorite son, my father's only disappointment, steel mill, blast furnace, that wind of fire, 3 feet away from a human melting point. I just feel like getting fucking drunk. Man, I miss dancing with butterflies. Once thought I could meet angels when I needed them. Solamente sangronas are what I conjure now. All right, this is the last one. This is called Airmail. El fin de la vida, amor finito. Las burlas de las brujas no me paran, no me asustan. Todo se acaba, ¿verdad? Ahora canciones en portugués para que nos sentimos bien chingón. Es noche aquí en Buenos Aires, en Albuquerque y en las pirámides. Bajo el mismo tú y yo, las nubes te besan. El sol te molesta. La noche me llama. Espérame un poco. Fue inglés. Whispers, baby. It's nighttime here in Sao Paulo and New Orleans at the Canal Zone. I'm drinking Puerto Rican rum with fruit squeezed in Brazil. Clouds greet you. The sun bothers your early morning lay. You don't want him to leave yet. He smells of you and beer and brandy and the dirty bed sheets you didn't change from the last guy. The clock radio goes off and he gets up. Sorry. Faux bliss time is expired. I think I have next. I'm excited because it's nighttime on the north side of Chicago. Good times get eroded quick by Friday night. Ciao. All right, that's it.
Emilio Maldonado, y'all. Thank you, Emilio.
Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate the poetry. Thanks for stopping by tonight.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Great show. Big ups to Morgan again for,
Big shout out. Big shout out to Morgan.
Yeah.
Technical director.
And
Hey, Morgan.
Lone heckler or lone cheerer.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think some other folks are still here too. Dude, thank you
Oh, yeah?
so much, Emilio.
Cool.
Thank you for dropping by tonight. Let's catch up soon. Hope you can make it
man.
next week. And stay strong, man. Stay safe. Keep doing what you do. Much love, brother.
All right.
Y'all give it up for Emilio from
Peace.
Humboldt Park, Chicago. And you're tuned in to Poetry Open Mic Asheville, coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina. Many thanks to our sponsor, Sovereign Kava, tonight for bringing you this open mic for almost 10 years now here in Asheville. Asheville's best and longest running open mic. And thanks to your support. We really appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares. And Many thanks again to our feature poet tonight, Janette Ayachi. We really appreciate it. Janette Ayachi. Alright. I got a few poems to leave y'all with. But y'all catch us next week. Kimberly Sims Gibbs will be our featured poet, and we're really looking forward to that. The great South Carolina poet coming through next Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm gonna do some old poems that I don't remember writing. So this will be fun. Let's take these back out for a spin. This is nighttime. The pink shell of dusk gives way to the black forest of nighttime beyond hate and fear. Somewhere on a frozen summit, the day hides out, throwing stones beyond hate and fear. During the night, bonfires burn brightly and drum circles spring up beyond hate and fear. Across the globe, the people are drumming, dancing in a realm beyond hate and fear. At lake's edge, trees lean in to hear stories of water, stories beyond hate and fear. Remotely, an owl's hoot shines light into the cavernous dark beyond hate and fear. One day, all the briars will turn to glass and bombs will boil the sea beyond hate and fear. From the conch's mouth, death blows another day into existence beyond hate and fear. This is another guzzle, apparently. Guzzle for future worlds. Only time and space. A great blue heron astound. Shiftily, clouds wander, the weather turned blue, turned green and yellow. A million black peppercorns scattered, hard to walk, lazy, crushed, painted the orange sky, swirling in the dust of summer. Like sweet goodbyes, birds call out to each other, flying together, far in realms of feathers. Tomorrow falls from the sky upon lakes. Yesterday's twinkle and sunlight rays, shafts of temples to ancient gods, gone but only somewhat forgotten. Fiery, like the center of the earth, like nebula dawns, like twin suns, never setting, on fire worlds far too bright to see. Syllable gong. Nothing more. The wiring, golden head beyond bronzed, bells clanging, barrel drum, a fine tune of intricate beating, slap the stack, only a field with abandoned jackass magnetic, only a whisper of an eternity rivering, only the sounds of love making without an answer, still questioning. The reeds tremble with unknown animals. The sun fades, orange and blue smoke from wildfires across bone ridges, settling in hollows. Tears come from the smoke. Children play in the smoke. Century-old oak trees vanish in the smoke. No more writing on paper, only smoke. Only a field abounding with dogs and lilies. Only separations of blue upon blue. The argument of the rain. The insistence of the river. The rush of its cascades. The revolving of the ancient music. Follow the sound. Hear the hidden melody. The gong will tell you where you are. And this one, one of the titles going on it, the greatest of all hat parties. One ear goes blank. Moon and window pane corner in a different place, a different plane. The earwig goes blind. Penciled in shavings, cream and sugar and spice and things under the sink. Bunches of newspapers, a steel wool comb, wires, extra, released and tarnished, beholden too late. The old guy is silly by the zoo, bleeding out of our masks into pans. A hat party ensues. Parading elephants are everywhere. Everyone come to the grand rumpus, the greatest of all hat parties. A bubble, and the phone answers. It's for you. A tiny fish sings in the dark, in your head. If fish could sing. It's your old pal Dave, and he's got something for you. Time whistles in your ears, and you can't seem to sleep anymore. Or is this sleeping? There's nothing more. Just wave upon wave of the sea. Just wave upon wave of the sea. Man, this mantis is still hanging out with us. Doing a little dance right now. Thank you, mantis. Alright. I'm going to leave y'all with a couple of cover poems. Thanks again to our featured poet, Janette Ayachi. Buy the new book. Available at janetteayachi.com. And tune in again here every week for more Poetry Open Mic Asheville. This is a poem. I'll do one more poem by W.S. Merwin and leave you all with some Rumi. My name is Caleb Beissert. Thanks a lot, y'all. The Wild Geese. It was always for the animals that I grieved most. For the animals I had seen, and for those I had only heard of or dreamed about, or seen in cages, or lying beside the road. For those forgotten and those long remembered. For the lost ones that were never found again. Among people, there were words we all knew, even if we did not say them. And although they were always inadequate when we said them, they were there if we wanted them, when the time came. With the animals, always there was only presence, as long as it was present. And then, only absence, suddenly, and no word for it. In all the great written wisdom of China, where are the animals? When were they lost? Where are the ancestors who knew the way? Without them, all the wise words are bits of sand twitching on the dunes where the forests once whispered in their echoing ancient tongue. And the animals knew their way among the trees. Only in the old poems does their presence survive. The gibbons call from the mountain gorges. The old words all deepen the great absence, the vastness of all that has been lost. It is still there. When the poet in exile looks up, long ago, hearing the voices of wild geese far above him, flying home. The tent. Outside in the freezing desert night, this other night inside grows warm, kindling. Let the landscape be covered with thorny crust. We have a soft garden in here. The continent's blasted, cities and little towns, everything become a scorched, blackened ball. The news we hear is full of grief for that future. But the real news inside here is there's no news at all. Friend, our closeness is this. Anywhere you put your foot, feel me in the firmness under you. How is it with this love I see your world and not you? Listen to the presences inside poems. Let them take you where they will. Follow those private hints and never leave the premises. Thank you for coming to Poetry Open Mic Asheville. We really appreciate y'all tonight. It's been a pleasure. Many thanks to our feature poet, and many thanks to all our performers tonight. We really do appreciate you. Be sure and pick up that double from Sovereign Kava, and y'all tune in again next week for more Poetry Open Mic Asheville. I'm Caleb Beissert. Many thanks, y'all. Take care out there. Cheers. And register to vote. Max Milner on the keyboards, Jason Moore on saxophone, Aaron Price on bass, Chris Cooper on guitar. I'm Caleb Beissert. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. It means a lot. Y'all take care of your barkeeps. Get home safe. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime. Cheers.